All right, folks, welcome back. This is your friend Mike DeMarco from Ship the Cash, and we are broadcasting to you live from the American Legion in South Dakota. We've got Roberto Gomez and Skylar Woodward coming at you. This is going to be a 10-ball race to 50. We're going to get someone to 25 today, and then we're going to conclude tomorrow. I am going to be joined in a moment by Mr. Joey Ryan from the Pool Player Podcast and also Mr. Mark White over in the UK from Passion for Pool. So we're going to head on over there and see how those guys are doing. Joey, how's everything going over there?
Oh, man, it's great. I'm super excited for this event tonight, Mike. We just got done with the Chris Robinson, Danny Olson match, and I could not wait for tonight for this to start. I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. There's been a lot of talk about, just what's going on with Havoc Productions and, this kind of trifecta, whatever you want to call it. And I'll tell you, I'm really excited to be just, part of this whole group. I think a lot of great things are going to be coming from this.
Yeah, I'm with you. And, how cool is it? Sioux Falls, South Dakota is getting to enjoy two of the best players in the world tonight. So I'm ready for a real barn burner.
Yeah, I got to agree there. And we've got Mark White with us also. He's over in the UK, a passion for pool. Mark, what's going on, brother?
Hey, well, there's been a big storm blowing in, and I've heard that the two big boys are in town over there in Sioux Falls. I heard it's a little bit cold there. Skylar's not too happy with the weather, but I'm sure the action is going to be very, very hot on that table tonight. I've just been watching them practice. Oh, my God, how good are these guys? Looking forward to it. And we've got a race to 50. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for too much more, but what we're going to give you right now is this gentleman right here, Mr. Skylar Woodward. Skylar, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to pass it on over to Joey Ryan. He's going to ask you a couple questions about how you're feeling about the match today.
Hey, Sky. Good to talk to you again. I know we talked recently. You said that you hadn't been having a lot of time to practice, but then you go out and you had a pretty good performance in your last two events. How are you seeing the balls? You seeing the balls pretty good?
I've had a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been able to. I haven't played a whole lot. I mean, I played a couple tournaments lately, and that was mainly to get ready for a few matches and stuff. But other than that, no, you're right. I really haven't had much time to practice. But like when I'm playing, I'm playing pretty good, and I feel like since I went to Missouri this last weekend and hit balls for like 4 days straight, and then came here and we've done stuff the last couple of nights. I feel like I'm seeing the ball pretty good, and I haven't played on a big table in a minute, but just from hitting a few racks tonight before we start, I feel, I actually feel pretty good. I feel better than I thought I would, anyways. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we were watching the table while you were warming up. We had a view of that, and you weren't missing much, so we're pretty excited. Are there any specific things that you've been focusing on leading up to this match?
No, really just trying to, keep it as simple as possible, because, I know I'm not in top form. I will tell the truth there. I'm not the the best I could be right now, but I feel like I'm playing good enough. I can still play good, just trying to keep it as simple as possible, and mainly just focus on pocketing the balls, and then it comes together after that.
So we know this is an exhibition match, but we hear there's a bit of money being bet on the side. Can you reassure us that you're out to win tonight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Exhibition or not exhibition, I ain't coming here to mess around. I definitely ain't trying. I don't want to lose. That's how I've always been. No matter what, if it's for free or getting paid to do something, it doesn't matter. I ain't trying to lose ever. I'm always going to give it my best, try to win no matter what. I don't have it in me to just to, even if there's nothing on the line, I don't have it in me to not try. I have to try.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, Sky, good luck tonight. We'll let you get to it, and I hope you play real well, okay?
All right, yeah. Thank you. Thank y'all.
You.
All right, that was Skylar Woodward there, and they are in T, South Dakota, and he's going to be playing against our next visitor, Mr. Roberto Gomez. He's one of the first few members of the Team Havoc, and I'm sure that Chad's excited to bring him on. Joey, what are you thinking about that?
Well, I just think it's so cool that Chad brought Roberto on. I've never met Roberto, but I think I told the story over the weekend that I was just walking through the parking lot in Texas at an event, and Roberto just kind of, looks at me, smiles, says hello, and I'm like, what an infectious personality this guy has. So I'm excited to talk to him tonight and watch him play.
All right, so it looks like Roberto is there. Roberto, how you doing over there?
I'm good. Yeah. Just about to start the match.
Hey, Roberto, this is your first event with Havoc. How are you
Yes.
feeling? How are you feeling about being a part of Chad's team over there?
Oh, it's amazing. It's really great. He's taking care of Chad. He's taking care of me so well here in Havoc. Yeah, I love it.
How about the fans up there in South Dakota? Are they taking good care of you? Are they treating you well?
Yes. Everybody is like everybody last night, the other night when we came here, everybody's like happy. We're like I feel like they're all my they're all my friends. Like last night we're having fun. It's cool. It's cool to be here. People are really nice. It's just really cold. Freezing. I'm freezing.
Well, maybe your play will warm us up tonight, warm everybody
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
So what do you think is the key to beating Sky Woodward tonight?
Oh, the key is I need to play my best. I need to play my best. Yeah, because this guy is a really tough opponent. Yeah.
So we know this is an exhibition match. I asked Sky the same question, but we also know that people are betting money on this match. So let us know. Are you out to win this match tonight?
Again?
I said people are betting money on the side.
Yeah.
Even though this is an exhibition for you guys. We just want to make sure you're out to win this match tonight.
Yes, of course. We have, of course, even it's an exhibition, I need to play that's my job, to win all the time. Yes.
I love hearing that, Roberto. Well, hey, look, we'll let you get at it. So good luck tonight. I hope you play well, and we'll be watching.
All right, thank you, guys, thank you.
Good luck.
All right, that was great to hear from him. Again, that infectious personality, as you had mentioned earlier, Joey. Really, really nice. Mark, what are your feelings on what we just heard from these two guys?
Well, first thing, I was so happy to meet, although I didn't get to talk to him. I hopefully will at some stage throughout the night. I couldn't work out whether it was a bird, whether it was a plane. It wasn't until I heard him talk I realised it was Superman. Let's hope we see him flying tonight. I'd love to see that. And Skylar, you can tell he's well up for it. And I'll tell you something that I did pick up on when you were interviewing him there, Joey, when he said, he's just keeping it simple, just hitting a few balls. He's happy. I'm just keeping it simple, like that. If that is simple, I cannot wait until he starts to make it a little bit more complicated. Brilliant.
You're right.
That's
You're right
a fair
about
point,
that.
Mark.
He was pretty impressive in the practice session there. So I'm really excited for what's in store tonight. Absolutely.
Yeah, cannot wait.
Fantastic. All right, so it looks like we are going to go table side now. The players are hitting some balls over there. And I wanted to give you guys a quick understanding of what this table is and how it got here. So I did want to mention this is the same table, and this was actually transported by these lovely folks right here, SPL Billiards. This table was transported from Colorado to South Dakota. And, this is the same table that we saw with Danny Olson and Shane McMinn. So this is actually the same exact diamond table that they played on. It's a 9-foot table. I know I saw some comments in the chat asking if this was big table or small table. This is a 9-foot diamond table. And a cool fact about this, this table right here is actually going to be up for sale with not only Danny Olson's signature, but also our three guests there, Skylar Woodward, Roberto Gomez, and also Billy Thorpe, who is on site with these guys in South Dakota. We'll get into the details of the sale of the table afterwards, but let me tell you something. You guys are going to get a sick deal on this, and money talks, if you know what I mean.
That's pretty cool. They signed the table there.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Chad told me, he said, hey, these guys are going to be, offering this table up for sale. I'm like, really? Wow. And then he told me some of the numbers, and I'm like, that's it? And I was like, well, I think we're going to have a little bit of a bidding war because it's not that much, guys. I mean, you can't even walk into a place and buy this table for what they're asking for the starting point. So start making some connections, talk to your friends. If you guys were looking for a table at any point, this might be something to go in on together, kind of a group effort. I'll tell you, that would be a really nice thing to have at your home.
Yeah, just thinking about this match tonight, Mike, I'm really excited for the fans of South Dakota. You have two of the best players in the world coming to South Dakota. It's -1 degrees. You have two guys, one from the South, one from Asia, and they're braving the elements, and they're coming up there to give them the best match that they can. And what a cool concept by Chad putting this together at Havoc Productions. I think it's just really neat.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, it's like we're in this match right here. This is technically episode 2 of this kind of, group effort here. But I'll tell you, I'm still just excited, like what's going to be the next thing, like what's coming next. I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled.
Yeah, well, after that introduction that everyone's talking about, that new intro that you've put on, the Star Wars-esque kind of introduction, and everyone is loving it. And I'll tell you what an epic. And it's fitting for an epic battle, I think, that's going to commence very, very shortly. Good work.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark. That was the first time that I used that video there. I did some work last night and a little more today getting that prepared, but I did miss the comments there, so I'm glad that the folks enjoyed that. Trying to set the bar a bit higher, as we spoke of, Mark. We got to change this up and make it enjoyable for everyone. Give them all of those pieces that the folks really look for, in a pool stream. So it's not, as Nate Minden put it, pointing a camera at a pool table and saying, "Hey, pay me." That's just not good enough. We got to do better. So
yeah,
let's keep raising it.
Hey, Mike, can we give the viewers a kind of rundown of the race and the game tonight?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you want to take that, Joey?
Yeah, sure. They're playing 10 ball, a race to 50. We're going to go to somebody gets to 25 games tonight, and we're going to take a break after someone gets to 12 games. So I'm assuming it's traditional 10 ball rules. I wonder, though, Mike, did you hear if they're playing early 10s like Danny and Chris did, or are they playing 10 ball has to be made last?
I didn't get to hear any of those particulars, but what I will say is that, I'm thinking that they're going to play it just the same as Chris Robinson, Danny Olson's match. It seems like that's the favorable way to play 10 ball. And I agree. I think that's the best way to play. I don't necessarily like the call safe aspect. I like the call shot to keep that creative aspect of the two-way shot and those types of things. So and they're not going to say, oh well, I don't want to involve combinations. Sometimes you need the combination to win the rack, and at a professional level, you want every option available there. So.
Yeah, maybe we'll call these the Havoc standardized rules.
Yeah, I like that. It's funny you said standardized rules. I've got something cooking over here with kind of the same type of thing, standardized rules, and I've actually asked some other folks to maybe implore those in either some or all of their events. So hopefully that can help us get to a point. And it's not just rules as far as calling shots and things like that. There's etiquette rules and things like that on top of it. So. Again, try to set the bar a bit higher, and hopefully, you get the support for it, and we can move on.
Yeah, we're underway here, and Roberto just broke dry, and Sky's got to look at the one. I don't know if you can make it. Yeah, he tried for that top corner pocket, but it was super tight. And looks like he left some cover there.
I'll tell you, in comparison to what we saw from Danny Olson and Chris Robinson, I really feel like this particular match is not going to have that buffer zone, so to speak, of wait till they get rolling. It's not going to be a slow pace with a gradual increase. I think they're going to start firing immediately. They're just going to come. I mean, right there. You saw.
You
How
called
about
it.
that one?
Right
Yeah.
on cue.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to speak.
Yeah, I got that. But these guys are just going to come right out firing right off the bat and just make something happen. It appears that Roberto didn't call that, but
Interesting.
yeah, and you know how both of these guys are. They're very much rhythm players. They're kind of going to have that little strut, stepping around the table. They're not gonna take 12 minutes a shot. We're going to see some action tonight.
Yeah, what I like about this, it's okay, it's billed as an exhibition, but we know that there is money going on this from all different sides across the US. And there's just that little bit of edge to it as well. So I think it's got everything. It's got that exhibition side and a little bit of match play as well. So this is going to be really, really epic, a bit like your introduction, Mike.
I love hearing that, Mark. And to speak on the exhibition side of it, I'll tell you, these players are definitely both going to know that winning a match like this, that opens the doors for a lot of opportunities and things of that nature because, a sponsor could see this match or just anyone in general is going to see this and it's going to open some doors. I mean, there's no reason for either of these players to, keep it close, so to speak. They're going to try their absolute best and they want to win this match. There's more than just the win at stake here.
Roberto came up a little short on this ball. I think he can still cut this ball in, but not quite as far as he was hoping for here.
It was good to hear both players talking in the interviews before about how it might be an exhibition, but they're born winners and they want to win. They haven't come here to lose.
Yeah, I believe Roberto put it, it's my job.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's like, what do you mean? It's my job.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So matter of fact, yeah.
Wonderful question, Joey. You just, dog that one. But this first rack, it looks like the guys are just kind of getting settled in. Both of them have missed a couple shots here. And looks like Sky here has the opportunity first to get to the finish line.
Yeah, with these guys, I mean, it's going to be just quick fire. And, we're not going to see too many misses, especially after we get 5-10 racks in. These guys are going to feel pretty comfortable, and that's going to be that.
So first blood.
Skylar Woodward. I did want to take this opportunity to shout out some of our stream sponsors. I want to thank, of course, iStream Pool. That's Mr. Ken Felton. And we are utilizing one of those lovely devices, folks. This is the future of live streaming. You could have just what you're seeing here at your pool room. You could say, hey, I want Mike DeMarco to commentate. I want Joey Ryan to commentate, something like that. And you can make it happen with iStream Pool and those amazing devices that they have. Also want to thank Bo Powers at Amazing Billiards up in Malden, Massachusetts. Bo Powers, definitely just, breathing some life into the pool scene over here and really just doing a great job. Look forward to playing in his 10-ball events every month. Really cool room. And they're actually adding some lovely equipment there. They're going to be upgrading and adding some Rasson tables. And they've already got a snooker table on site and also some 3-cushion tables there. So really unique room. Go check them out. It's Amazing Billiards. That's in Malden, Massachusetts. All right, here we go. Sky to break.
Hey, thanks a lot, Brad. I appreciate you stopping in. And yeah, you can pay me not to commentate, sure.
Oh, come on. That better be your friend.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
All right.
he's actually a real good player from North Carolina. Plays real sporty.
Hi to Dwayne Zimmerman as well. Nice to see you here, mate. Good to have you.
This is, oh, sorry, Mark. This is a 2-day event. I'm just answering a question on the stream. It's a 2-day event. They're going to the first person that gets 25 today, and it's a race to 50.
Hey, Tom Kasha, how you doing, brother? It's been a while. Tom Kasha was one of the original supporters of the Ship to Cash virtual events, and just a great, great personality to meet virtually. And I'll tell you, it's been a funky road with all of these mandates and changes and all that stuff. But folks like Tom Kasha and other folks that I've met through the virtual world, it's really been a special thing.
This guy's making quick work of this table here. I don't really see any problems from here.
Yeah, what a great sight it is to see him in, well, not full flow yet, but he's certainly flowing already. Bit like the locks of hair around his shoulders. He still hasn't cut that hair, has he, Joey?
Well, it's a good thing. It's probably keeping him warm up there.
Who needs a neck warmer? Real quick, I wanted to mention, if you are just joining us, please make sure to click that share button, get it out there, put it on your personal page, put it in all those pool groups that you're members of. Make sure we get these numbers way up. Want to give these players the stage that they deserve. And of course, if you are able to donate to our stream, you can do that with the pinned comment in the chat. There's multiple options there.
Somebody asking, are we on YouTube as well, Mike?
Not at the current time, but that is something that's right around the corner. We will simulcast over to YouTube at the same time. That is not too difficult to do. It requires a little bit of work, but we're up for the task. And I want to shout out this young man right here, my man Vic Paradise, Vic Pero from Where the Cash At. He is really just a compliment to our local scene right now, and I am really happy to be able to work with him. And he and Where the Cash At were kind of birthed out of the shutdowns, and there was nothing going on. And this guy just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to do something. I'm going to make something happen, and he's been doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work, Vic.
We had a question in the feed about, can you come in and watch? I know they were selling seats for this event, but you probably in a good place now if you went in and negotiated with Chad and get a good deal on a real nice seat there. You'll see the bleachers on each side that they brought in for this. It looks like folks kind of prefer to sit a little higher up. I do think they have a good crowd there, because when we had the mic on, you could hear it pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was definitely busy in that room. And just so the folks are aware, this is not a pool room. Chad had this table delivered to this location, and just basically created the arena for these two great players to perform in front of the audience. I mean, that's just special stuff right there. That takes a lot of dedication and work, and I'm sure Chad hasn't slept in days, with all of these things going on. I mean, I know how much work I've put in behind the scenes, and he's over there traveling and all of those types of things on top of that. So, kudos to Chad.
Yeah, just another indication, isn't it, of what Chad is doing with Havoc and how he's innovating all the time and not just going to a pool hall, actually taking pool to the people rather than people coming to the pool room. I love that idea, and set up a table somewhere where you can get a nice big crowd in. People that wouldn't normally see pool, maybe even live. So good to see. Well done.
Absolutely. Yeah, Chad is definitely dedicated, and I've been kind of shouting Chad out a little bit here and there, on some of my own streams, and even just like Facebook posts and things, saying, hey, Chad's got some big things coming. Watch out for this guy. He's really dedicated, and we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, Roberto had a really nice exchange from the 2 to the 3 ball there, and was able to kind of get in line, and then he kind of rolled up on that 10 ball and had to kick and left Sky a shot. So everything's really going in Sky's favor right now. He's starting pretty quick, and Roberto seems to be struggling a little bit. Even there, Sky bumps the 7 ball, but he's straight in the side and looking really good.
Lovely little bump, wasn't it, on the 7? Left him perfect on it. Looks like going 3-0 now.
I tell you, both of these guys are fearless players. You know, you're never going to see them kind of hesitate at something. They're going to make a decision and then execute. You know, they're not afraid of anything, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Give a quick shout out to Nate Mindham, popped into the stream with Cue It Up podcast. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to go check out Cue It Up podcast with Nate Mindham.
What's up, Nate? Hope you're doing well. Nice job on the VG10 ball event.
That was great. You know, it's funny, Mike, the way they set that whole thing up. Man, what an awesome structure, and the way they had 2 cameras on every table. I said to Nate, I was asking him, I was like, how did you get everybody so disciplined to have all the cameras set up? I mean, I know myself when I hook up my own camera how difficult it is, you know, to get the focus and, you know, the angles and everything. And they get every player to have at least 2 cameras set up perfectly. So it's quite a feat, and it's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm clicking buttons like a maniac over here, making things happen. But I'll tell you, I'm enjoying watching this at the same time. You know, aside from being part of the production, just as a you know, a pool fan, this is just awesome to watch.
Yeah, and you're not alone. 856 others in Facebook at the moment enjoying it as well. Huge crowd for this match, very much anticipated. I've been looking forward to this ever since Chad mentioned it to me a few weeks ago. I've been waiting for it. I've been marking it off like a prisoner in my cell, right, with the lines on the wall, and it's finally arrived. Here we are. Brilliant.
Well, we know you're excited, Mark. You're all the way in the UK. It's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and you're gonna stick with us all night. I know how you are, buddy.
I ain't going nowhere.
So yeah, I'm glad to have you back, Mark. Lots of positive feedback having you involved in the trio here, and I enjoy having you with us.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and I mean that, not even my bed. I'd rather look at the bed of that table.
I'll tell you what, the only guy that's not freezing right now is Joey. Joey, what's it like in Arizona right now?
It was beautiful here today. Probably 75 and sunny. Sorry.
Everybody just kind of made a face at Joey.
You know, Mike, I really had half a mind to, you know, just not come home and head with Chad over to South Dakota, you know, just to witness this in person, because there's certain things. When I was at the Olsen Chris Robinson match, there's certain things. That was a really good shot there by Sky, by the way. Just certain things you pick up being in the room, you know, the way the players are, their posture, the way they're looking, the way they're feeling, and things they say. So I halfway wanted to go there and be there, but I had to get back home.
Well, I'm glad that we still have you with us, but you know, it was a really cool setup having you on site, you know, with a little added equipment there and all that. But we're gonna definitely be doing some more things in the future. Can't wait for that. And don't forget, folks, coming up this Saturday, we have another great match for you. Something that's going to be entertaining for sure. We've got a 3x2 is what I call it. We've got a Scotch triples versus Scotch doubles. Scotch triples is going to be Skylar Woodward, Chris Robinson, and Billy Thorpe. And they're going to be taking on Team Havoc, which is Roberto Gomez and Danny Olson. So that's going to be a really sick way to just see pool played. I've never heard of anything like that, but that was really creative on Chad's part, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And again, that's this Saturday right here, Havoc Productions.
Like the way Sky played that, he came out of 2 rails to maintain that angle he's going to need to get him on the 2 ball, which Roberto tried to push the 2 ball up against the 7 there because he really had no good options to hit it. Uh-oh.
Caught a hanger, Sarge.
Yeah, and he actually fouled, didn't he? Gave Sky ball in hand, right?
Yeah, intentionally.
Okay.
So this is the break Roberto needed, being down 3-0. He hasn't really been able to get going, but this is his opportunity now. The 2's a little deep in the pocket, but he should be able to pull it out 2 rails like this. Nice shot.
Yeah, only just perfect, right?
I mean, he's down 3-0. He just gets up and fires. I mean, he's just ready to roll.
Dominic Dunn says, I've got the voice that you could never get mad at. You should tell that to a few of my ex-girlfriends.
What's up, Dominic?
You made me curious, Mark. I don't suppose you have any old voice messages.
Plenty, but none we can play right now, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Fair enough. It looks like Gomez is going to get his first point here. And no, I don't believe in the curse, so don't tell me. I'm going to drill that in the entire pool world's mind. It doesn't exist. Just going to slide this one down. I think he wants to contact the rail just above the side pocket.
You know, if he feels like that side pocket's going to interfere with this, he might just come short side on a 10 here just to be safe. Take a little bit of a cut shot. 10's out in the middle.
He wants to kind of just drag it up the table, just like that.
Yeah, beautiful.
He didn't spin it a whole bunch, but I think he's still comfortable.
Just settle for a little longer shot here. Good shot.
Oh, great execution there.
He's on the board, as they say.
Yes, he is. 3-1. And right now, I want to thank Piazzas. That was the previous venue we were at over in Aurora, Colorado. That was where we had the Danny Olson, Chris Robinson match. And let me tell you something. If you guys could go over there, I'm envious of you, Joey, because you got to be there. But this place looks insane. The food looked even better than the pool tables, and that's hard to say. But I was starving just looking at the plates that were over there. Joey, I mean, am I preaching to the choir here? I mean, you know all about this place.
You know, Mike, I went in there on a keto diet, and I left there not on it anymore. so many great Italian dishes, pasta. It's Carb City, but it's delicious.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
I was going to say, I thought he's put on a bit of weight, Mike.
In just 3 days' time.
Didn't take much.
Well,
Roberto got a ball on the break this time, and he can see the one ball. He's got a decision to make here. There's not a lot of future in trying to cut that one ball in the corner here, and it would be a combination in the side pocket. So I anticipate him playing safe.
Ed Kearney, why would you want me to say crikey?
Hey, Paul Lewis, how you doing, brother? The Stallion's doing just fine over here. Glad to hear from you.
Mark, I definitely want to hear a few British terms.
Oh, boy. Just going to give you a list of words. Mark, read these, please, with a 3-second pause between.
Just text me them and I'll read them out one by one.
We should start charging the viewers. We can say, hey, for just 50 cents, you can have Mark White say any word.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Put Mark's PayPal up there. Let him earn.
Yeah, it's 50 cents a letter. Choose wisely.
That was a good shot there. He might have left a piece of this for Sky to look at. And if they are playing early 10s, he might take a run at it on the billiard.
Kerry McAuliffe, I see you. Nice job at your event this past Sunday.
He's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Wow.
Swish.
Wow.
Shot.
Well, that answers your question, Joey. Yes, they're doing early 10 balls.
Yep. Feels good to call that one.
Yeah.
There.
Look at you.
That's the best way to play this game, and that was a nice call on your part, Joey.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to agree with you, Mike. When you take the early combination out of the game, I don't know. It just
it's a way to win.
it removes an element that is interesting and fun.
And that was a skillful shot that he's played there. That's harder than a pot in my eyes. It was a great shot, really good. It had to be absolutely perfect on that, and he was. Great shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to consider there when you're playing a shot like that. It's not just a cut the ball in and that's that. So yeah, kudos to this guy. Wow, is he strong?
Oh, where's the cue ball? Oh, it just almost got bumped in by the 5.
So for sure, this table isn't breaking the same as the table with Chris and Danny over the weekend. They were pocketing ball. Well, Danny especially was pocketing those side balls nearly every break. Here, like in this case, Sky got that kind of ball running around the table into the corner pocket. And the spreads, as you see, aren't, turning out as well.
So I think he's trying to decide if he's going to play a kick soft into the 1 or some sort of a push out.
Hey, Holly, thank you. Appreciate that. One thing I'm really excited to see tonight is some bank shots. So obviously we know Sky is an amazing bank pool player, and Roberto is an incredible one pocket player. So I feel like we're going to have some opportunities tonight where these guys kind of maybe misshape a little bit or come to the table with a bank shot and take it on and hit some amazing banks tonight. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, Joey, I'm glad you brought that up, especially mentioning banks or one pocket. Before we began the broadcast tonight, we were talking about players entering into new formats that they don't normally play, such as Josh Filler just recently getting into one pocket a little short time ago, and getting to see some of the talents of the game that are dominantly in rotation, and they just look at the game in a different way. I think you had an example of straight pool with Dennis Okolo, is that right?
Yeah. So when we were doing our one pocket power rankings, we were talking about really the amazing talent of the Filipino players when they come over. And I remember Mike Davis on that episode said, yeah, like straight pool, you just tell them the rules and they figure it out. So like Okolo wasn't even using like a setup ball and he's still running 100, and the ball before the break shot, he's going 3 rails to get shape on it. Nobody does that in a straight pool,
Well, he does.
Yeah, he does. And he was actually, well, now he doesn't. He's learned how to play. But, the point was you just tell the guy the rules and, yeah, you're going to run 14 balls, leave 1 ball, break open the stack and keep it going. And the guy's running 100 balls the first time he's ever played it. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's really great, though. You get to see some of these great talents and just the way that they take the game right off the rip. It's like, especially a game like one pocket or straight pool, it's not just the normal rotation format. It's like, their take on it is going to open the door for new types of approaches to a certain situation or a certain type of shot. And that's really how games progress and how players get better.
Yeah, Mike, one thing that also came up in that video, you mentioned Josh Filler, was the fact that he beat Chohan in that match. The guys on the panel there, Molina Mike, Oscar Dominguez, and Mike Davis were all saying, wow, that probably wasn't the best move in terms of like making money. There were probably 100 guys he could have beat in the United States playing one pocket first because they would just assume that he wasn't a good one pocket player, but he steps up and beats probably the number 3 or 4 in the world playing one pocket. So
yeah, that's good information there. I mean, I'll tell you what, so far, Sky's up only a couple of games here, but these two guys, I feel like it's going to be, kind of a grind the whole way, but a fast-paced grind. If you can follow what I mean by that. I don't think these guys are going to be like, 5, 10, 12 games apart, anything. I mean, we're racing to 50, but I don't anticipate anything more than maybe 8 games or 10 games at most, and that's if something significant happens there. What do you guys think?
We had a little safety exchange, didn't we, on the one ball for a little while, but they soon got fed up with that, and in the end, one of them just blasted the one around the table. Interesting point, actually, from Dusty Geller saying Danny's match, of course, they were using the magic rack, and they're not in this one. Any reason for that? Is it what they agreed?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that was arranged between Sky and Roberto. I know one thing's for certain with these Havoc matches, Chad puts a lot of stock in the players. He believes in his players and, the opponents he lines up for him. And he gives them a lot of flexibility and freedom as to deciding how they want the specific rules of the match to go. In fact, Chris and Danny were their own referees for the match. They didn't even have a referee. And literally over 3 days, 165 games, there was not one controversy, not one issue, not one time someone called to watch a hit. How crazy is that?
Yeah, yeah. That's again, that's just speaking volumes about the types of people that we have on our hands here. You know, they're top quality professional players and top quality humans, and you know, they're representing the sport of pool in a great way.
Yeah, well, it was played in great spirit, wasn't it, that game? And there's a question from Jack Taransky's asking what the score was. Yeah, he won by 35, actually. It was 100-65, Jack. So it was quite a convincing win.
I want to take a quick opportunity. Sorry, Mark. I want to thank Mr. Maurice Elkins, also Brad Shearer, Robert Rigg, and Kwok Din for your donations. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
We got a scratch.
Yeah, it's a big problem there. Just scratch right in the side. And he does have a little issue with the 3-5, it looks like, to contend with, and the 8-ball being down there. So it'd be interesting to see how Sky negotiates this.
That's right, Greg Hogue. That's how it should be, 100%.
Conservative approach here says to pocket the 1 and 2 and leave yourself with some form of safety. But when I think of conservative, I don't think of Sky Woodward. I think he'll probably go for some kind of breakout here.
Yeah, I think I got to agree there.
Has he got the carom on the? Is it the 5 next to the 3? Is it?
Yeah, I mean the 8-ball might be kind of eclipsing a bit, but
yeah.
I kind of like playing the 1, getting the cue ball down towards this bottom rail, and then pocketing the 2 with some left hand spin and getting up into those balls. Like here, I don't know if he's going to have enough angle to do that.
he doesn't have a heck of a lot of angle here, but call me crazy. It looks like he's going to try to get behind the 3 for the side.
Yeah, the side. I think that's what he's playing, you know, deep draw.
He slid the cue ball.
He can bank it, I guess.
Here we go. We talked about this.
Yeah, you called it, Joey. Lots of banks. Here comes the first one.
He's locking him on the 6-ball here.
He tricked us.
And anyone that wondered if this was an exhibition match, there's your answer right there.
Yeah, you don't swing at that if you're going for the W.
No.
Again, folks, if you are just joining us, please hit that share button. Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah, and somebody's just come in the chat, Joey, who I was talking to you about. I couldn't think of his name earlier. With the great, unique pre-shot routine, Greg Hogue.
Yeah.
The guy I was trying to think of. I commentated on him once. Very unique style, very interesting style.
Yeah, where's he from? Oklahoma? I've seen him.
Yes, he is. Oklahoma, yeah.
I've seen him getting in action quite a bit. So
Got the Red Door Den.
Yeah, Red Door Den, exactly. A very, very lovely room he has there. And I believe Skylar's wearing the Red Den shirt, isn't he, tonight, I think?
it's a pretty straightforward save here, and it looks like Sky is going to get him.
That leaked out there.
No.
You know, he's got a chance to come off this long rail here and play the 8 on the billiard. Let's see if he elects to do that.
Oh, you know your stuff, don't you?
Actually, it's funny. We had this exact shot, almost identical, with Chris Robinson, Danny Olson. Same situation came up. Different outcome, though. Danny did pocket that ball. I believe he did make that.
Yeah, I don't know. We have, it looks like 1,200 or so people watching this right now. I don't know how many caught that match this weekend, but what a performance by Danny Olson. I mean, it was day 1. He played nearly flawless pool. And so if you guys didn't catch that match, you gotta go to Havoc Productions and check out that match, because it was just remarkable play, I thought. Yeah,
I thought he was every single part of Danny's game on day one for definite was absolutely spot on.
You know, and after the match, when I interviewed him, I asked him, well, you know, who at that next level would you like to take on? Would you like to compete against? And Danny said, well, maybe Justin Bergman, Sky Woodward. He started naming all the best American players, and I love that. You know, well, sure enough, later that night, I see Justin Bergman post and says, I heard that Danny wants to play me. And so I'm like, that's cool. You know, let's get some action brewing.
Skylar hit the point of that corner pocket there. Kind of jawed up the cue ball a bit.
Let's see him come with one here.
Yeah. What
Wow.
a shot.
Wow.
What a shot that was.
Fantastic play here.
Hey, Tapar Hamnapal. Now she is the ladies 9-ball champion of Thailand, and she's just 16 years old, and she's actually been to America and done a tour. She's played a lot of the top players. Young girl, fantastic prospect from Thailand, just 16 years old. So high par. She loves her pool. So another one for Sky then.
I'm going to take a quick opportunity to thank Mr. Jack Taransky from JT's Pool Cue Repair. If you are in the New Hampshire area, that's your guy right there. Tips, ferrules, rewraps, shaft work. You got it. That's your guy right there, Jack Taransky. Also, you can hit him up on Facebook. Just find Jack Taransky, and you can get one of those exclusive Roy's Basement cue holders. There's a couple left. I know he's going to be getting some more of those, but that's the only place that you can get them. So if you're looking for that right there, that's your man, Jack Taransky. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, you brought up a really strong young female player there, Mark, and I found it interesting. I interviewed Kelly Fisher and Christina Tkach, and we talked about, you know, will we see the day when a female is the best player in the world? And so both of them pretty much said no for the most part, and they had their various reasons. I'm sure that 10 ball doesn't count. He'll get spotted up. But Mike Page, not long after that from Fargo Rate, posted a video, and he used some clips from those interviews, basically making the case that, yeah, you know, it's kind of a numbers game, and there's so many more men that play than women, but that it is possible. And basically his argument was to have many more mixed events where women do compete against the men. And so kind of wanted to get your take on that, Mark, and see what you think.
Well, you know, I'm a huge fan of the ladies' game, and I'm actually coaching a European pro at the moment. And I tell you, they soak up all the information. They, of course, the great Margaret Fefilova as well. We all know how much effort she puts into her fundamentals and her technique. And she once told me, you know, that she treats it like a proper subject, like a doctor would going to university for 7 years, you know. And that's the way she treats the game. And she even keeps a diary of every single practice session that she takes. But one interesting thing, and I just watched your interview with Kelly Fisher 2 nights ago. And by the way, fantastic it was. And I'm honestly hooked, because you know how much I love pool. And you've got some great guests on the Pool Play podcast. But one thing that Kelly said when she was asked, will women ever be as good as men? And I loved her answer. And when she mentioned the fact that a woman's ability to multitask is the thing that lets them down in pool. And I loved the bit where she said, I was on the 9-ball one, and it was in the World Championships or something, and just as I was going to shoot the 9-ball, she started thinking about her laundry. And I thought that was just lovely, you know. She's so lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, and I even said it on, thanks, Mark, for those kind words. I even said it on the podcast that, you know, that diagram that you see sometimes, and I forget what the men's analogy is, but it's pretty straightforward. But the women, it's like two plates, and the women's just looks like spaghetti everywhere. Kind of their brains going crazy, thinking about 1,000 different things. And I see that with my wife, worrying about the kids and what's going on, and making lunches and getting them off to school. Whereas I'm just focused on one task. What a shot by Sky there!
Brilliant.
What a shot.
See, he wasn't thinking about laundry or the kids then. All he's thinking about is that two ball. That's all that's important. We're so one-dimensional, us men, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, a commenter there, Edward Hoffman, says Chen Min could compete with many of the men. And that was the example that we used. We were talking about her and just how well she plays. She's matched up with Donnie Mills a couple times and beat him. And she's her Fargo rate is above most men in the world. It's approaching 800. So Sky looks like he's going to extend his lead here.
I want to say a quick thank you to Mr. James Stein for your donation, and also Wesley Ferries. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate that. And there it is, Sky again on 6-2.
So how do you think the table's playing, Joey? How's it looking to you?
Someone asked about pocket size here, and to me, this looks more like a 4.5-inch diamond. It could be 4.25, but it doesn't look like it's quite as tight as...
It is 4.5 for sure.
Yeah, it's not as tight as the table that Danny and Chris were playing on.
I'll tell you, you wouldn't have known the difference, though, the way that they were pocketing balls.
No.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah, David Olsen. Are they playing tight pockets? Any relation, David?
I'm going to say yes, because at least it's been my experience. I don't see that spelling too often. In fact, I think when Nate was doing the VG10, he put out Danny Olsen's name spelled with an EN instead of an ON. And that's a pretty easy mistake to make, because I think naturally you want to say EN at the end. So I would say that's probably a relative.
Yeah, I think it's normally a Danish name, isn't it? Or something like that, Olsen, isn't it?
And there you see Dave Isaacs in the chat there, 4.5-inch. That's the gentleman that makes a lot of things happen for pool. And he was actually... he was the one that supplied the facility and the tables for the McMahon-Olsen match, and this is the same table that match was played on. I appreciate everything, Dave.
Yeah, good job. And David, that's his dad.
Yeah, congratulations! What a great young man, and what a great pool player you've raised. You should be proud. Roberto's taking a little time here just to make sure that he gets where he wants to get on the 5 ball, so he can negotiate down to the 6 on the bottom rail here.
I think he did a good job there.
Yeah, perfect. Nice angle.
It's a little steep on this ball, but I think he'll be fine and float up table and shoot the 7 back down in this bottom left here.
I believe Skylar's 27. Somebody asking his age there.
Yeah, we're going to 25 today, and then we'll finish it up tomorrow. Ooh.
Oh,
wow, that was unfortunate there.
Wow.
Big game there to go up 7-2 here for Sky.
It was looking great, wasn't it? All for a second or two, nudging the...
Yeah, I mentioned he was a little steep on that ball, and so it caused him to really focus on making the ball, and then he got a little too much out in the center of the table there, where he had to play into the 8 ball, which obviously caused what we saw there.
Yeah, but it's funny, but we're not going to see these two guys miss too many shots. They might lose the cue ball or get out of shape, but I don't think we're going to see very many missed balls or missed pots, as you would say, Mark.
Yeah, missed pots. There's one of my English words, and I didn't get a dime for it, but I don't care. Have that one for free. Crikey, he's giving it away.
I want to thank Mr. Chris Freeman over at Buster's Billiards, doing his live stream matches and also just working with the youth and making some tournaments happen up there. He's doing a great job. That's Chris Freeman. That's Buster's Billiards in Somersworth, New Hampshire. Make sure you go check him out.
Hats off to you, Sut, bringing up the young. That's the future of pool, of course. It's great to see also lots of other people around the country doing so much, well, around the world actually, for pool.
I mean, that's quite literally the future, as you put it. And you know, if you can introduce young players to the game properly, I think that's the key for us, because you know there's actually a lot of young players around, but I feel like you know, the introduction was just improper or just not you know, not professional, so to speak. And you know, I think that there's a lot to say about that. You know, how you introduce a youngster into pool really makes all of the difference.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. And, you know, one thing when I was growing up, my dad really did a masterful job of, you know, having me become passionate about pool, but yet keeping it in perspective in terms of like how to behave and how to act. And, you know, I really appreciate that. And I think you're right. I think a lot of young players coming up, they don't really have the proper introduction to the game. Look at this shot. Beautiful. And sometimes fall in with the bad element. And
Yeah, for sure. And you know, that's something that I think collectively we can kind of say, hey, if you've got a young man or a young girl, you know, in your area, you know, that's you know, interested in pool, try to guide them, even if it's not for yourself. You know, don't try to, you know, kind of be the coach that you don't have the time to be. You know, try to put them in the hands of someone that can do the right things. You know, there was actually a young man that came to a pool tournament at a local venue here, and he just seemed really special. He came in with his parents, and he's just like, yeah, I heard there was a pool tournament. He just loves to play pool, and we want him to play. And instead of me, you know, taking the cue from the, you know, a lot of players saying, hey, Mike, you should work with the kid, do this. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do as good a job as Joe Tucker would do. So what did I do? I said, hey, I'm going to connect you with Joe Tucker. He's the guy that you want to talk to. He's local, and he'll put him into the right introduction to pool. And I think that's going to work out better for him. So, you know, if you do have young folks in your area that are trying to get in there, you know who the right people are in your area. You know who they are. Just try to get them in touch with them and make that connection.
Yeah, very true, Mike, what you're saying there. And I think it's so important to get the kids the right coaching as early as possible. I mean, it's years wasted otherwise doing the wrong things. It's so important to get these youngsters getting the fundamentals and the technique right, and from a very, very early age.
Yeah, and also to look out for the negatives and the bad side of any you know, any world, any community. You know, there's bad sides to anything, and you know, you just want to make sure that you're giving them their best chance to excel and to build this game up.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be shouting about that one, Bradley. Played Superman once, got 3 shots in a race to 5.
I bet you had fun doing it too, Bradley.
Yeah. Still talking about it.
You know, that's something that, you know, comes up from time to time, you know, just talking to people about it. One thing that's amazing about our sport is the access that we have to the top players. You know, we can go, we pick a big tournament, we can go to that tournament, and you're right there having conversations with Roberto Gomez or, you know, Sky Woodward. You know, it's just great. I mean, you can't go, you know, tag along at the U.S. Open golf tournament and have conversations with Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods. And so, hopefully this game grows to where the accessibility of these players isn't quite what it is today, but let's enjoy it while we have it, that we can get close to these people, learn from them, and hang out with them. It's just a really special thing. It's a good break there.
That's a really special thing that you brought up there, Joey, talking about the accessibility of the players. And, I really do feel fortunate, to be in that type of position. I'm sure you guys can agree there, being able to communicate with some of the greatest talents in Q sports. And, I don't believe that pool will go to a place where the players don't want to be accessible. I feel like they're going to feel grateful for many, many years to come and just say, hey, you know what, this is where I came from, and I'm not going to, act larger than life. Even if we do get to the point where we're paying millions of dollars to these top talents, I wish and hope that we can, keep things the way that they are and just kind of keep things human, so to speak.
Yeah. And we got Superman going airborne here. Look, he's going to fly over the 10 ball.
I mean, he's Superman. You got to like his odds here.
Yeah. Probably do it with one arm up in the air.
Yeah, you make a great point there. What a shot that was. You make a great point there, Mike DeMarco. When I first started the podcast, the biggest fear that I had about it was, what if people don't want to talk to me? And, people have messaged me and said, hey, I wanted to do that, but I'm not as connected as you. And I'm like, I knew like 3 people that I've interviewed. And every other person that I've interviewed, I sent them a message and they're like, okay, let's do it. And
Yeah.
that's been a real blessing. Literally today, I saw a thread. I saw Dennis Hatch comment on the thread. I said, hey, Dennis, I shot you a message. I hit him a friend request. I sent him a message on Facebook. I said, hey, I'd really love to interview you for the podcast. He was like, awesome. Sounds great. I'd love to do it. So that's the response that I've gotten since I've started doing this. And I mean, I think it speaks volumes about, the quality of players and people that we have in this sport. And so that's something that's really been a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, and I think that in recent times, with just how how prominent social media is, it makes things a little easier than it might have been in the past. It's like, how do I get that guy's number or something like that? It's like, well, you look up the person, and if they're on social media, you might be able to reach out to them. But I can understand where a lot of times folks that are in the public eye more often than not might feel like, hey, you know what, I don't respond to every single message and things like that, because you're going to get all kinds of mixed goodies, if you know what I mean, in there. So but it is nice to be able to reach out to the players and speak to them on a one-on-one basis. And Joey, I'm looking forward to all the things that are coming from Pool Player Podcast.
Somebody said that Dennis just wants to sell me a car. It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, sure. I'll do the podcast. You got to buy a Mazda. No.
I'm getting ready for a car too, actually. So I've had my Infinity now for quite a while. So it's the 2003. So I need a new one. Or no, 2008.
I miss my Mazda MX-5. So you say Mazda, don't you? Mazda MX-5 I had, convertible. I used to get the people used to make fun of me because they said it was a hairdresser's car. That's what they're called here in England, hairdresser's cars.
Well, I think this is dry again, isn't it? They're struggling a little bit on the break here, which I'd really like to see them dial that in, because I want to see a couple packages.
I took care of that spammer, guys. He's gone.
We got a spam, have we?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Mike, I was really hoping to get some money there.
Yeah, I know. Hey, this person sent me $5,000 to my Cash App. I'm sure they'd do the same for you. Yeah, a likely story. And I'll tell you what, though, if you really think that that's true and you go down that path, I mean, I don't want to say you deserve it, but I mean, come on. Come on. Like, really? Yeah. What's the old saying? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's in great shape here. to get out this rack.
Oh, I love when he starts stroking the ball around, cue ball fizzing all over the table. Fantastic sight, isn't it?
That was a pretty little stroke there, wasn't it?
Drag here. Oh, he's more than he's got. Yeah. What a shot that is.
So Sky mentioned that he's been playing bar box pool lately and that he hasn't really played a lot of big table. And one thing I've found is when I make that jump from bar box, playing a few bar box events and then spread out to the big table, if you're seeing the balls good and feeling good about pocketing, you just have so much more real estate. And so you can get on a nice little run like this where you just feel like, hey, I'm not going to miss a shot. And I have so much space to maneuver that we can see some really high quality play.
Yeah, definitely. I will say it's nice to play on both. You know, there's merit to both types of pool. But I would definitely say that you don't want to just kind of segregate yourself to either or. You know, play all the pool you can. As I mentioned on our previous show with Danny Olson, Chris Robinson, you know, there's some of the top players in my area that have exclaimed, hey, 8-ball on a 7-foot table is one of my favorite games, if not my absolute favorite. And it's just, you know, the strategy of it and just being in close quarters, it makes the game really difficult at times, and sometimes it's really easy. But in any case, you know, there's merit to both types of table play.
Yeah, it's a very tactical game. And I find that, you know, if you are able to maneuver the cue ball, if you have a good cue ball and good decision making, you can be a good bar box 8-ball player. And there's a lot of people who have those big sweeping strokes, and you get them on a 9-foot table, they're running out from everywhere, and you put them on a 7-footer and try to play 8-ball, and it's like they get cramped up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I used to go and play.
Feeling claustrophobic, so to speak, right?
Yeah. No room to maneuver.
Mark, did you play English 8-ball at all?
Yes, I did. I don't like it, but it's because, look, I will play anywhere on anything. I went for a walk on the beach the other day, made some snowballs, and well, I put a picture on Facebook actually. Trouble is, every ball was frozen to the rail, unfortunately.
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff, Mark.
Well played. Well played, Mark. Yeah, this is looking good for Sky here again. So don't look now, but he's up 4 games, and he's running out. So Roberto has some work to do to get back into this match, and he hasn't broken the balls well, and he's overrun shape at least once on a table that he should have been out. So
yeah, the good thing is, obviously we're breaking after 12 racks for just a little while. Race to 25 this evening, overall 50 of course, but 25 today. So break after 12, so it might be a chance for Roberto if he goes any further behind. He'll certainly want to win at least, well, 2 of the before he gets to 12, right?
Yeah.
I mean, good thing we're racing to 50. We're not racing to 15. So, you know, we've got a long stretch of pool here.
Did you see how fast that draw stroke from Sky pulled that ball back? I think he's really trying to let out the stroke a little bit.
Here comes another one. Great shot.
His speed control is just on point right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely flawless.
In the zone.
There it is. It goes up to 9. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Rick Silva from Rick's Mobile RV Service and Repair. Rhode Island, Mass, Connecticut area. You got a motorhome or a camper, you got a campground, whatever it is. They will travel to you and take care of whatever you got going on, whatever's troubling you. That's the guy, Rick Silva. That's Rick's Mobile RV Service and Repair. Also from Rick Silva, check him out on Airbnb at Grouse Landing in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. You can accommodate up to 10 guests at that place. Lovely views, plenty of space. If you're looking for a little getaway with some of your pool buddies, head on over there, take a load off, take in the scenery, and just kind of, you know, just relax. Take some time off. And why not watch some pool while you're up there, huh?
Looks amazing, doesn't it, Mike? That place.
Yeah, I might have to book that myself.
Beautiful lake. I think we should all go up there. Is there a pool table in there or not?
Well, if there's not, I'm sure we can make something happen.
Why don't we buy that one between us and take it? And we'll even get Joey to sign it.
I want him to sign my microphone.
You have the microphone voice, Mike.
Well, you know what? Thank you.
Looks like Sky might be able to play safe here behind the 9-ball. I was hoping he'd get a bank shot to open up with, just so I could watch him bank the ball. But I think that might be the 2-ball down here that's kind of in the way.
I feel like he's trying to get behind the 9-ball with the cue.
Yeah, I think so. Nope.
Oh no, he was looking to avoid it.
He just cut it right in. We talked about maybe seeing some aggressive play tonight, and I do want to mention a number of people have asked what's in the middle here, and this is an exhibition match put on by Havoc Productions, Havoc Billiards, and so they don't get involved with the gambling side of it. Chad stays clear from that, and so if the players have money on this, it's between the players. I'm sure they do, and I know that there's quite a bit of money bet on the side in different places. I've seen action today all over Facebook. But we talked to the players beforehand, and we pointed that out. We said, look, we know there's a lot of side action on this. You know, assure us that you guys are out to win, and they did. They want to win. Like, in fact, Mike DeMarco brought it up earlier when I asked Roberto that, like, how do we know you're playing to win? He said, it's my job. And so
yeah,
that was a pretty cool statement. So
yeah, and seeing the look in his eye when he said it, like you know he means business. He's like, it's my job to play, to win every time. That's my job.
yeah.
He was like you was asking a stupid question.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? Am I playing to win? Of course, I want to win.
I don't know. It looks like Sky's getting a dead punch here, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks like the case. I mean, we saw what happened with Olsen and Robinson there, with the break being a huge factor. And if Roberto can't hold serve, this is what's going to happen kind of going forward. But, I mean, Sky's kind of just rolling downhill right now. It doesn't even look like he's stressed even a little bit. He's just kind of flipping the cue around and just making it happen. So Roberto really needs to take advantage soon. And when he does, he needs to make sure that break is on point.
Yeah, he's playing really well. And that's interesting because the match this weekend, I think the real big key to the Chris Danny match was the fact that Danny was breaking so well. He was putting 3s and 4s together. And early on when Chris fell behind, he wasn't breaking well. And I think he had this feeling like, how am I going to catch a guy who's doing 3s and 4s when I'm having trouble getting 2s? Yeah. And he seemed depressed from there and really try to play perfect pool. And as you know, when you try to play perfect pool, that's when you can't play perfect pool for the most part.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Joey. I mean, the long and the short of it is, either one of these guys that gets an advantage and gets comfortable first, that's going to be tough to catch. I mean, it's I don't want to call them buckets, but I mean they're 4.5 inch versus the 4 1/4 that we saw, in the previous matchup, and that's a factor. If either one of these guys gets super comfortable, like we're seeing here from Sky, it's going to be tough to catch him, especially if that break's working.
Yeah. Hey, Mark and Mike, what do you think? I've heard a number of people say that professionals should play on 4 1/4 inch pockets. That should be like the new standard for professional players. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Mark, go ahead. You can go first.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. I believe the most accurate player should win. I don't agree with big pockets. I think these guys are way good enough to play on tighter pockets. And I think it kind of makes people take the sport more seriously. They don't want to see balls hitting the first diamond and dropping in. I don't like to see it. I think they're good enough, and I think it would the better players would win more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can agree there, but unfortunately only to a degree. and I have a little objective perspective on the pocket sizes, and I do agree that maybe 4 1/4 is the gold standard, but I don't like it when people say, hey, they need to be playing on a tight table, and they don't mean 4 1/4. They mean like 4-inch pockets or something like that. And I think that takes away a lot from the game also, just, the angles that are available, cheating the pocket to create the game that we like to see. If the pockets are too small, I mean, you take away a lot of options and the game looks different. I don't know if you guys are understanding where I'm coming from with that, but 4 1/4, I think that's enough. That's fine. But any smaller than that to play rotation games, I'm not a fan of that. I've played on some very, very, very tight equipment, and it kind of just changes the whole way that you're playing it. And I've even felt where I'm playing 9-ball on the table. It's a 9-foot table playing 9-ball, and it feels like I'm playing one pocket really, where I'm just kind of like tucking and rolling and kind of hiding, versus you can't really shoot the ball in other than shoot it straight in. There's no angle to create. So I'm in agreement. 4 1/4 should be a standard, but anything smaller than that, I think you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, I mean, people want to see balls going in, right? We don't want to see balls rattling all the time,
Right.
So I'm all for that. I think 4 1/4 should be a standard, I think, or not should be, but I think it's a good standard to have 4 1/4, and I think it would make the sport look a little bit more serious, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and that was a great conversation. You could see the thread blowing up with people talking about 4 1/4, but I just want to point out what a shot Gomez made on the 8-ball there. Beautiful cut shot, and with the proper speed to get down on the 9-ball. So maybe that'll get him going here. To your point about the 4 1/4 pockets, and taking something away from the game, and people wanting to see people pocket balls. Out here in Arizona, we do a few big matches a year, team matches, where like we do the east side of town versus the west side of town. It's called the Saguaro Cup. It's a very popular event. And then we also do Las Vegas against Phoenix and do a team event there. And over the last several years, we've been playing that on like super tight tables, 4 1/8 down here in Phoenix and 4 1/4 up in Vegas. And I think it does take away from the game, especially the viewers on the stream. Yeah. Because so many people that are great players, under the pressure of that Moscone style event, they're dogging balls like crazy. And when I say they, I mean me too, because I played in it one year, and I played in each of those events one time, and I did all right in the Phoenix East vs. West one, the Squirrel Cup, but the Vegas match, I mean, it was brutal. I'm shooting balls and missing by 4 inches just because of how tight the pockets were, and it kind of got into my head a little bit. So for a viewer perspective, I think that 4 1/4 is pretty much as low as you should go.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement there. I want to speak to one of our viewers there in the chat. Clay Maxim says the problem with 4 1/4 is that the average player would not enjoy that, and rooms can't afford to have 2 sets of tables. I definitely can understand that. You don't have to have every table there at 4 1/4. I mean, if it's a special event or something like that, something like a Turning Stone or a U.S. Open, whatever, you can just say, hey, this is the standardized pocket size. But I'll tell you an interesting experience I had in New York at Steinway Billiards. They had a professional event come there. I believe it was actually Darren Appleton's World Pool Series. And it was incredible, the amount of dedication that room has to making it proper. And they actually changed out their entire room of pool tables just for the pro event. And then literally just a few days later for the amateur, they just swapped it all back. And that just shows you like what kind of dedication some of these rooms have. It's like, yeah, you can't have 2 sets of tables on hand, but you can get a guy like John Kruglinski to come in there and swap them all out for a pro event and flip it back for the amateur play. But yeah, I mean, 4 1/4 pockets. If you're going to have an exhibition with pros or something like that, you can have, a feature table. That's what we have at Snookers. We have one front table. It's the feature table with the live stream. It's got the tighter pockets, but you don't need to have the entire pool room at that. It's just if you're going to have a professional tournament that's not necessarily at a pool room, 4.25 should be the standard for sure.
Yeah, really nice out by Sky here. He started with a back cut on the one ball that almost didn't look possible, but led to him getting out here. It was really nice. He's playing really well.
Yeah, you can say that again.
And I'm going to, of course.
I want to shout out Mr. Mark White, who is joining us right now. apassionforpool.com. That's the graphic right there. That's the gentleman that is joining us from the UK right now. Go check out his website. That is apassionforpool.com. And I also want to thank SPL Billiards. They made it possible. Mr. Dave Isaacs, he made it possible for this match to happen. He transported that table from Colorado to South Dakota and just made it happen. So thank you very much. Really appreciate all the things you're doing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what you were just talking about, Mike, when they set up all the tables, swapped out all the tables. This is a couple times now that Dave has done something like this for one of these events.
Yeah, cool. It was really interesting when we set up for the Shane McMinn, Danny Olson match. We didn't have a pool room. He just had a giant facility with a bunch of pool tables, and he made some really great decisions. He actually built like walls out of the pool tables on the carts. And if you haven't seen that match, it is on the Ship to Cash Facebook page. It's just a free video on there, and it was just really sick the way that he set that up. It was like an arena of pool tables. In a circle, kind of just like boxing the players in, and it just looked amazing.
Yeah, that was a real nice production there, Mike.
Thank you.
Match.
Yeah, I've got a great story that I can tell very quickly, if you wouldn't mind. When
For
I was
sure.
living in Thailand, I was commentating on a Chinese 8-ball event, and there was only one table actually in Bangkok that had. There was only one Chinese 8-ball table, and what a club actually did, they took out 5 pool tables and put in 5 Chinese 8-ball tables just for a weekend tournament, and then switched them back after the tournament. And it was a fabulous tournament. I think it was actually won by Carlo Biardo. I believe that's who won it.
Monster player right there, Carlo Biardo.
Oh,
Look at this shot by Sky, guys.
up again.
Look at this shot.
Wow.
Look.
Yeah, that's, from where he was, that's pretty good to get to there. I wonder if he'll try to cut this 9-ball in. And keep in mind, I think we're coming up on an official break here if Sky can get to 12.
That's correct.
And that didn't take much time at all, if that's the case.
He's going for the cut here, I think. No.
Yeah, he did go for the cut there. He ended up coming behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So he opens the door for Mr. Gomez. Try to get a little closer here. And if you guys are not familiar with Roberto Gomez, you probably don't watch too much pool, but I'll tell you, he is a player that is very capable of winning a game and putting a package together. And he could tie this up at 11, very, very easily, I should say, from a player like him. He really just needs the break to work for him. After the break, he's as good as anyone in the world.
Oh, commentator's curse.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, just an excuse. How's that 10-ball, huh?
Yeah, he left it a little tough. Sky's looking if he can cut it.
He might kick this, no?
Yeah, I would think he'd go for the kick here, but we'll see.
If he's far enough down, no, I don't know. That's tricky. I mean, the kick is definitely the obvious choice here, but
The captain has turned on the fasten your seatbelt sign by the sounds of it.
that's Chad, Joey. I don't know if you can communicate with him there.
He's missed it.
Oh,
And he's
so
just
we're
going to
not
give
going
that
on break
up.
yet. Hang with us.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Right, and I want to take this opportunity to thank these guys right here, Big Time Threads. They're in Phoenix, Arizona. Head on over to their Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Big Time Threads and see what they've got cooking.
Yeah, Mike, that's my buddy Adam Kroll out here, and he does great work, does a lot of team shirts. If you're headed out to Vegas or, out to one of the national tournaments, get in touch with Big Time Threads, man. They'll hook you up.
Yeah, he seems like he's got a lot going on over there. And again, that's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, he plays a lot of one pocket. That's what he's got going on. Good guy, though.
Tell you what, anybody that can play one pocket, like it, and continue to play it, they've got to be of some high intelligence, if I do say so myself.
Do you play one pocket, Mike?
I do. And I'll tell you, after a few years of, just being hard-headed about it, and I'm telling you, a lot of folks out there are like that. Like they see it, they're like, I don't want to watch this. It's like watching paint dry and this, that, the other. It's boring, And there's even times where I've seen folks watching a one-pocket match and they're like, wow, these guys stink. They keep missing. And they just don't understand it. And I'll tell you, at first, I wasn't a one-pocket fan. But after actually, playing it a bit and getting the strategy of it, once you're enlightened, so to speak, of how that game is and what it entails to play it, it's the best game, in my opinion. It's a great game.
Yeah, it brings out every skill that you would need as a pool player. And that's one thing that I love about it.
Yeah, you can't just be a shot maker and play one pocket and expect to be good. Unless you're, of course, Josh Filler, because he doesn't need to play any type of two-way shots playing one pocket. He just shoots them all in the hole, and that's that. But he's kind of an anomaly in that respect.
He's pretty much an alien. And, you bring up one pocket, and Roberto Gomez, he plays some great one pocket. He just lost a matchup against Chip Compton. But prior to that, I witnessed him at the Texas Open win the one pocket division there, where he ends up beating Alex Pagulayan, then Tony Chohan, then Dennis Cercolo.
And who is this now, Joey?
This is Roberto Gomez. He won the Texas Open one pocket division, and he beat those three guys back to back to win that event. And you think, okay, he gets through Alex, who's arguably the best in the world, and if Alex isn't, Dennis is, who he beats in the finals, and then number 3 or 4, depending on who you ask, is Tony Chohan, and he beat him too. So he's quite an accomplished one pocket player. Yeah, Sky tried to make that ball and scrape the 5 and hit it a little more solid to give him a shot, but he just thinned it a little bit, and now he's kind of stuck here. See what he comes up with. It's like maybe a 2-rail safe.
Yeah. There's an interesting thread in the chat at the moment from Patrick Roy. Can you see that, Joey? Quite an interesting subject.
Yeah. About the preparation?
Yeah, I'd like to have a little chat about that if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, you go ahead.
I think there's definitely a difference in the preparation between the European players and the American players. And of course, we're talking generalities here, right? There's certain American players that we talked about, Danny Olson this weekend, who kind of reminded us of a European player, just works at his game all the time, and he's kind of fit and, seems like he does the right things. And, that's what we've seen out of Europe now for really a couple decades, starting with players like Niels and Thorsten. And I think where it's left us is in a place where, the U.S. is struggling to keep up, really. So it looked like Sky was. Did Sky call that?
No, he didn't call that.
It almost looked like he was going to keep shooting, and now they're smiling. I see Roberto smiling. So
he played it in the top right.
Yeah. So that's pretty clear to me, Mark. And I think if the United States is ever going to get to a place, 1, we got to build the juniors program. 2, we have to really treat the game like a sport. And I think that's the biggest thing we see out of the Europeans. They get up, they work on their game, they eat well, they work out, They work on their game some more. It's very structured. When I interviewed Fedor, one of the things that came out in that interview is he said, yeah, so, I have my plan each week. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, plan? What are you talking about? Do you actually have a written plan? He's like, yeah, how else would I keep track of it? Like, it's obvious. Why wouldn't you have a plan? Well, how many players in the United States have a notebook of what they work on every single day and, sit down on a Sunday night and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do Monday through Sunday. And I think that kind of shows a little bit of the separation between the two continents right now. But I'd really like to hear your take, Mark.
Well, I totally agree with what you just said. I mean, the Europeans, they treat it like a sport. They are athletes. They eat properly. They work out. They have a regime that they go through where they will do drills and they will keep records of every single drill, and they'll try and beat that the score every single day. And they will play matches at a certain time. They will train at a certain time. They will go running at a certain time. They will eat at the right times. They do everything. They treat their body. They realize that to be a good player, this is such a mind game. And to be fit in the mind, you must be fit in your body as well. And it's a big part of the European thing. And of course, the technique side of it as well. We take it so seriously over here. And you talk to some players from other countries, and they're saying, what? But we just want to learn how to pot balls. We want to learn the how to draw back, and we want to let. Yes, of course you do, but you can only do that with the correct fundamentals, and that's why Europe is. I think I read a statistic out of I don't know how up to date this is, but I believe in the top 32 players, I think it was about 14 of them were Europeans. I think I'm right there. And there was 4 Filipinos. I think there was 3 Americans. I think 5 Chinese Taipei, something like that, And it just showed that we do take the game more seriously, I think, and more of a sport.
You think they take a lot of cues from the snooker world?
Absolutely do. 100%.
Yeah, the presentation there is very different than anything pool related as compared to snooker. So I think that if you have an example like that, it's a very close cousin or even brother of pool. Snooker being that example, I can see why they would take it in that way.
Yeah.
We've even seen some crossovers.
Somebody kind of, said in the chat, what am I talking about? Most American players have notebooks. I haven't seen one, but I mean, maybe they do. I'm sure guys like, like probably Justin probably has a routine, something he does, Justin Bergman. Sky probably has a routine, but I don't think it's the same as what you would get out of like Fedor or Josh, Josh Filler, or even Jason Shaw. But I could be wrong.
I remember something from your podcast with Christina Tkach talking about she doesn't really play. She doesn't really use drills very much in the lead up to matches and stuff. She'll play the same races that she's going to be playing. She will start at the same time. She will treat it. And I love this saying where people say, if you practice the way that you're going to play in a match, then when you come to play a match, it's just like practice. And I kind of like that sentiment, so you're basically playing a match. You're training to play a match rather than just doing drills and working on shots. You're actually practicing to play a match.
Yeah, I've heard lots of top players say exactly that, Mark. Practice the way that you play the way that you practice, and vice versa. I mean, that's what it is. It's just repetitive. You got to keep doing the same types of things, and it becomes second nature. And it's not, oh man, what do I do in this situation? Well, if you've been doing that for the last 3 months leading up to this, you wouldn't have that question when you're at the table. You would have situated yourself with that, last month or something, and worked on that particular shot or that situation.
Yes. The big thing about technique, the most important part about having a good technique, is it gives you the ability when you're in a match, when you're in pressure situations, your technique and your fundamentals will hold you steady. If they do break down, you've got a list that you can work through of what am I doing wrong? Am I on the line of the shot? Is my arm straight? Am I following through? Am I keeping my head down? Am I looking at the object ball? You know, and it's so easy. The great Steve Davis used to say, if I'm playing bad, I can work out why within 5 shots. Not some people take a whole match and they just go through and they don't know what they're doing wrong. Yeah. Whereas, you know, you can work out, it's a process of elimination. And he would start, the first thing he would do every single time would be to exaggerate, keeping his head down on the shot and not moving. And he would accentuate it, you know, and really, really stay down.
So, Mark, I think one thing you brought up this weekend, you asked if Chris had a coach there. And I think that's a big disadvantage for the United States players. There's not a whole lot of players that have a dedicated coach. Like Kelly Fisher said, she's been with her coach, I think it was for a couple decades.
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't see that often in the United States. And, you know, terms that you use over there in Europe, like cue action. I never heard that until I heard a European say that. You know, we just kind of fire balls in, and people have different techniques, but it seems like the Europeans are more meticulous about those fundamentals, maybe because the snooker background and the fact that you have to have such incredible fundamentals to pot balls, as you would say, in those tiny little pockets on those huge tables.
Yeah.
I think a lot can be said about just how American players versus, you know, a majority of the rest of the world, how they take their misses or their shortcomings and what they use to say, hey, this is why. And I think a lot of times, unfortunately, you know, they don't actually look at, hey, maybe it's my fundamentals or the way that I'm approaching the shot or the way that I'm doing something. It's not my fault. It's I feel I'm not on today or something to that effect versus, hey, this is the particular thing that you're doing incorrectly or your stance is off or your bridge is not proper, whatever it is. You know, there's an answer for sure. There's definitely, you know, things that are fact and things that are kind of hearsay. And there are facts about, hey, this is why this isn't working for you. And I think players just need to kind of, you know, nix the ego, you know, in a lot of cases, you know, and just say, hey, maybe I need to work on this particular thing. I can't tell you. I've seen some, you know, promising young players and, you know, they can't kick for anything, but they can run out like the best of them. And, you know, I show them a couple things to practice kicks and, you know, they'll do it for 15 minutes. And then next thing you know, they're back to shooting balls in the hole because that's what they're comfortable with. So, you know, I think it's really just being an accountable player saying, hey, you know, this is why I'm not doing the things I want to do. And this is what I can do to fix it.
There's nothing better than seeing a naturally talented player in full flow, like Skylar Woodward just then.
All right, guys, I'll take a brief intermission here, and we will resume here shortly. If by chance any of you guys are hungry, we do have the neighborhood bar and grill over here.
All right, so Joey, I got you and I up here now. So it looks like we are going to be joined by some of our players in just a minute. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the announcements in the back there, but we are going to get a minute to talk to some of these guys and just see where they're at in the match. I was really happy to see that Roberto was able to get back into this and only leave just a couple of games between them right now. And again, it really comes down to the break there, I think. Roberto, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. It's just like the first game, the first day, and the first couple of racks. So it's gonna be a little up.
Yeah, Scott, Roberto, this is Joey. Sky jumped out to a lead on you, and you made a nice little push there at the end. It seems as though you're struggling on your break.
Yeah, I'm struggling with my break.
Yeah, do you feel like you're going to get that together and be able to start pocketing some balls on the break?
Yeah. I need to figure it out. I'm trying to change the rack little by little until I get where I need to spot the rack. That's my plan for now. Try to get the break because it's all in the break. It's the game, the match is all in the break.
Yeah, so with this little comeback here at the end, do you feel like you're starting to get comfortable out there and ready to play some some really
A real. Yep.
awesome. Well, hey Roberto, thanks for joining. Go get washed up or whatever you need to do, and we'll chat with you at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Go, Superman.
All right, it looks like
Bye-bye.
we're having a little bit of a connective issue with the remote chat there with our players.
Yeah.
The audio seems fine, but the video is a little lacking there. It looks like Sky's going to be joining us now. Sky, there he is.
Hey Sky.
Hey, what's up?
It looks like you caught a gear there and started hitting the balls really well, huh? Feeling good?
Yeah, man. I mean, it felt good. I'm pocketing balls good. I did miss a couple. Where I was just like, man, what the heck am I doing? I hit it like just straight crap, I was just like, what the heck? But that's lack of playing and consistency. It's okay. It'll come back now soon because I'm. It's kind of one of the reasons of my trip here, or not this match, but my trip to all the tournaments I'm going to right now, and like this match and a couple other things coming up. So I keep hitting balls, and I'm just going to get my consistency back. So, but yeah, I felt good there, especially for a minute. I got in a little rhythm where balls laid up pretty good, and I was running out nice. So. Felt good.
So Roberto's struggling on the break, and it seems like you've kind of started to get it dialed in on the break. Are you feeling like breaking the ball's really good, and you have a good little system there for that?
Yeah. At first, I felt like I was struggling with the break too, but I made a ball here and there. But there at the end, I found a spot where the ball sat and stuff, and the balls were going in. So yeah, I felt like my break did work a little better than his, and he did struggle. I felt like I might struggle a little more than him, honestly, coming into the match, because I know he plays a lot more 10 ball than I do. But as of right now, I mean, it looks like he's struggling a little more than me, but. We'll see. It's still early in the match, so we'll see what happens if my break keeps working or whatever,
Skylar, Mark, just one quick thing. It looks like you're really enjoying it out there.
Oh yeah, man. I always enjoy, doing what we love and everything. I'm just happy to be here, happy to be able to play, and that's really all. I always enjoy it. Just have a smile on my face no matter what, win or lose. I mean, it sucks losing, but, win or lose, I'm still going to have a smile on my face. Crack a joke or two, mess around.
Yeah, that's the way to play. Smile on your face. Good to see, Skylar. Good to see you playing well. Get out there and do the business.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Skylar. Good luck.
All right, yep. Thank you all.
All right, so there you have it. Both of these guys smiling and, just being open about what they need to work on. Just being open on what they need to work on and how they're going to take control of the match or remain in control in Sky's case. Mark, did you hear anything in particular? Did you take anything away from how these guys were talking? Anything in particular there?
I actually did. What I take from that is they're both taking it a little bit serious. They're both working on their game. They know what they're doing wrong, so it means they're thinking about what they're doing wrong. It's not like they've come here just for a bit of fun. Of course, they're having fun, but they're here to win, and neither player is completely happy with the way they're playing, and they're working on how they can make it better. And that's a good sign for me. I reckon this next session is going to be very, very interesting. And I think you're going to see Roberto sort out that break and start making a charge on Skylar.
Yeah, I think so too. We're actually watching Roberto Gomez practicing the break immediately after leaving the interview table there. And, I mean, at this level of play, professionals, they want to perform. There's never a time where they're like, hey, I don't really care. I'm just going to go out there and have some fun, whatever. They always want to put on a good show for the fans and make sure that they're doing their best. Joey, what about you? What do you think about what's going on here?
Well, the thing that sticks with me is that I don't think Roberto's really played that well for his level of play, what we typically see out of him. And he definitely hasn't broken the balls very well. And he's really right back in the match. So that little flurry that he had at the end has kind of pulled him close. And I think he's probably feeling pretty confident right now that if he plays the way he knows he can get right back in this. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here is I expect it to tighten up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the day end 25-23, 25-22, somewhere in there, either player winning today.
I mean, we're at 8 games to 12 right now, and I mean that's really what we were looking. I mean, it's just a couple of games gap, and it looked like Sky was going to take the break at, what was it, like 11-4, something like that, 11-4. If he had gotten a 12, I mean that's 3-1 on the games right there. But he was able to battle back, and again, it really came down to the break. He had a couple of fortunate situations that put him there, but once he's on the table, the table's open. He's pretty much just going to do the same thing every time and get out.
Yeah, make no mistake, these are both world-class players, and the level of play is just going to improve as they get more comfortable in the environment and on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it looks like our guys are still taking just a bit of a break here. I am going to go back to table side here and just see exactly what's going on over there. And it does look like they are taking just a couple of minutes. So I am going to take this opportunity to shout out a couple of sponsors. And the first one is going to be these guys right here, Straight Shooters Family Billiards. That's in Fall River, Massachusetts. They got the Chow Mein Classic. That is a household name in the Northeast for sure. If you have the ability to get over there, it really is a special tournament. Just the people that go there. I mean, it's a $25 tournament, and you're going to see, when the mandates allow it, 90 plus players at these events, and that's once a month. It's the first Saturday of every month. They buy like 30 pounds of chow mein and feed the players. It really is just a special event, and we're going to check out a quick video about that right now. And that was the Straight Shooters Family Billiards Chow Mein Classic. Wow, that is a really cool event. Definitely check that out. Also want to thank the folks at iStream Pool, Mr. Ken Felton, and these lovely HD cameras that we are able to send out to remote locations and do all kinds of nice quality production using these camera feeds. Ken, keep up the good work. And, of course, if you guys want to get involved in that, reach out to Ken Felton and iStream Pool, and we can get you guys hooked up with that. So, Joey, it looks like these guys are ready to get back in. I don't know if they're starting right away or.
No, I think they're taking an additional 5 minutes here, and that would make a 10-minute break. So I think Roberto's just practicing his break. He knows how important that is, and if he's going to get back into this match, he really needs to dial that in.
Yeah, and you know what? That's really nice to hear, because it lets you know how serious they are taking the match. They don't want to go out there and just be like, whatever happens. It's an exhibition. They want to win. So you got your money on some strong players here. If you're betting something on the side, don't feel like it's a coin flip or whatever. I mean, they're both great players, so I guess in that aspect it might be a coin flip as far as who's going to win the match. But nobody's taken for granted that this is a match and people are wagering on the sides. This is important for both of these guys.
Yeah, you guys may have noticed Roberto's shirt. I think it's kind of interesting to point out that when Chad announced him as part of Team Havoc, I think the contract was going to start at a certain date, and he had a couple matches that came up, and he was just taking Havoc stickers and putting them on his shirt and, representing the brand even before he was contractually obligated to. And so Chad ended up getting him this shirt here with the Filipino sun on it and his name. It looks really cool. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Danny's shirt from the weekend that had his childhood artwork on it, which was kind of slick there. I don't know if you caught that shirt there.
Yeah. The shirt that Danny Olson was wearing had artwork from when he was a young boy, and that's what he used to draw. And lo and behold, look what it turned into.
Yeah, his mom saved it, and then they were able to get it screen printed on the shirt, which was pretty neat.
He said he used to doodle a lot, didn't he? Danny the Doodler, when he was a youngster.
Yeah.
Lovely little story, that.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, it looks as though we're going to be joined by Mr. Chad Shoulders in a second via phone call, and he wants to just kind of go over a couple of the key differences in this match. Putting it up against the differences that we've seen in the Olsen and Robinson match. All right, so Chad, do we have you with us? Let's see if we got him on there. Chad, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, great. So, Chad, I know you wanted to join us and just kind of go over some of the key differences in this match versus our previous match that we had. What do you got to say, Chad?
Well, one of the thanks for having me on. I know it's you guys are pushing buttons everywhere. I think the stream looks great. You guys are doing a great job, first of all. But what I really wanted to point out was, we watched the Olsen Robinson match, Race to 100, and what you had was. You had a kid in Chris Robinson that's taking on a tough opponent that needs to stay, at the top of the heap. And then you've got Danny Olson, who's trying to make a name for himself. And they had some money in this thing. And, and so it was really, 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 there was a lot on the line for both players. In this match, and so it took a while. In this match, you have, two players that are playing an exhibition, but they also know they know there's action on the side. They know there's other things that might be going on. So they're playing an honest, they're trying to beat each other up, but they can play loose. And one of the things that I notice as this thing is just flying by, and as far as the speed of the match, is you see a level of offense that's insane. And I equate it to like a pitcher in baseball might be making $4 million a year. Well, if he gives up 8 runs in the first inning, he's still getting his $4 million a year. And when I look at this, I think, why can't pool be something like that where these guys are this is a very entertaining match, I'm sure. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what we're seeing so far has just been fireworks. I mean, both of the guys came out swinging right away. And, I was glad that Roberto was able to close that gap a little bit. We've only got a 4-game deficit here.
Right. And so if these guys were betting $50,000 of their own money, or if they had, backers that were lining them up for tons, and, they're going to choke down a little bit. They're going to slow down on some super critical shots there. But, the entertainment value might go down, but the quality of pool might go up, and as far as like making that super clutch shot when all the money's on the line, that's great. However, when you look at the entertainment value of pool, what grows pool is something that's fun to watch. This is really fun to watch. And so when I think about what, the differences between the two, and I like both components, the Olsen Robinson match was fantastic. And this one is also fantastic, but for different reasons. And so I think, why can't we have scenarios like this where players, are guaranteed to get paid for their craft, in an exhibition, and have an experience, a really, really good competition, that's entertaining for those that are watching. That was basically one of the observations that I had to give, as far as the differences between the two.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see what you mean by that, and it really just it's just the situation that we're in right now is that there's a difference in the type of pool that we're seeing today versus what we saw on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But there's no question about it. It's entertainment, and it's absolutely something that the viewers want to see. And if somebody tells you otherwise, I wouldn't take that to the bank, if you know what I mean. This is this is definitely entertaining right here. And I even mentioned it earlier, Chad. Just me being a pool fan. aside from me being involved in the production aspect of it, I mean, this is fun to watch. I'm excited to see these guys going at it. I mean, I can't remember the last time I got to see either of these players matched up on the same table, especially in this type of scenario where we get to see them run for longer than a race to 7 or a race to 9 or something like that. I mean, that's just great stuff right there.
Yeah, as this match goes on, I'd love to know what the viewers think about that. I'd love to know what the fans of pool think about that. Do they like these exhibition matches where they can watch these guys just, run wild, and loose and crazy? I mean, they really are trying to win and they are competing, they know. But it just takes a little bit of the tension out of the stroke. It takes a little bit of tension out of the, of the process for them, I think. And that's why you're seeing such great pool right now.
Yeah, of course. And I just want to mention to the viewers out there, the players are on break right now. You're not missing anything. Believe me when I tell you, you're not going to miss one shot at all throughout this match. So don't worry about it. We're not cutting out the action to let you guys watch us talk. Believe me when I tell you, I'm excited for these guys to get back in there and shoot. But they are on break, so we're not missing anything right now.
Well, if they were shooting, it'd probably be over by the time I got off the phone.
the way this match has been going, I couldn't agree more. Right. Yeah, these guys are going at like 9 million miles an hour right now.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here looking at them. It looks like they're about ready in about just a couple minutes. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Thanks, Joey, Mark, and Mike, and away we go. Right.
Absolutely. Joey, I think Joey had a quick question for you. What's your question, Joey?
Yeah, Chad, we've talked a little bit about Roberto and just his whole disposition and the type of person he is. And, obviously when you have a company, you're looking for people to represent you that not just play great pool, but are great people. So can you tell us a little bit about Roberto and kind of the type of guy he is?
Chad, do we still have you there?
Yeah, I'm here on the phone. Yeah. I can't hear Joey, though. I'm sorry.
So Joey's asking about, like your perspective on, the types of players that you're associating with and the people that you've brought on, with Havoc Productions. Can you speak on that just a bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, I want entertaining players. I want high-quality players. I want players with class and integrity, and I want, players that want to win. And and are good for the game, that support the junior programs and just want to grow the sport of pool. And if you take a look at what's going on tonight, and take a look at the way Skylar approaches the game and the way Roberto approaches the game, they do it with a smile on their face. And Skylar's not one of my sponsored players, but Roberto is. But having Skylar here, you can see the entertainment value that they both bring to the table. They love the fans, they love the game, they like each other. And I like to. That's what I'm looking for. And in that match with Chris and Danny, Danny's just a great player, and he's a great young man, and he's got a huge future. You don't see him in the news for doing anything wrong. And look at Chris Robinson, what a class act. He didn't have the match he wanted, but he just played the game with absolute class the whole way. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and you're definitely showing that you make some sound decisions, Chad. Can you fill the viewers in on exactly who is on the team as of right now? Because I don't think they're aware of everyone that has come to be part of the group at Havoc Productions.
Okay, well we've got Roberto Gomez, who you're seeing tonight. We got Danny Olson, who had his real big career win last week, and then we've got my young junior player Cash Lance, who's 17 years old, and I think he's got a real bright future, coming through the on the junior side of things. And then I'm working some things with Kelly Fisher here that hopefully we can announce some stuff that she's going to be working with us on, and I can't be happier to be able to work with her on something. She's just a fantastic player. So that's who we're working with. Those are the people that we're creating sponsorship and partnerships with, and I look forward to the future.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Chad. And we're definitely looking forward to more things from Havoc Productions. I mean, everything you've done so far, you can tell that you think about every decision that you've made, and you make sure that you're making the right decision, and you're coming off the right way. I think everybody's starting to understand what you're capable of and what's going to come from Havoc.
No, well, Mike, I appreciate you saying that. I'm always going to try, and I'm always going to listen. So if people have comments for me, or people have ideas for me, or criticisms, I've got thick skin and I can take it. I just want to make this game better. And it's not that people haven't tried and haven't done it. I just have a little bit different view of what it might be able to be. And, and if you like what you see, let me know. And if you think I could do it better, I'd love to know that too.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's always going to be a process in, making progress, and, you just keep getting there, chug, chug, chug. Eventually, we're gonna see Havoc, up there with some of the top entities in the pool community for sure. It's been nothing but a pleasure working with you guys, and, I can't wait for the next endeavor.
No, thanks, pal. I really, really appreciate it. Now let's watch these guys get to 25 in about 15 minutes. Huh?
Yeah, right. It's going to be like 10 minutes from now. So maybe next time we tell these guys they're going to race to, like 100, but they're going to do it in 2 days instead of 3. The rate that these guys are playing, I mean, this could have been double up.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, Chad, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to head back to tableside and check out the action here.
Sounds perfect. Thanks, pal.
Yep.
Mike, I spent the weekend with Chad with the Danny Olson, Chris Robinson match, and you two, Mike and Mark, and the dedication from the team to get the stream out. And Chad was running around like a maniac all weekend, making sure everything was right for the in-person audience that were there at Piazza's. And Mike, I saw the work that you put in on the back end, and Mark, you staying up all hours of the night. It's just been a pleasure working with you guys.
Well, I reiterate every single word that Chad said, that Mike said, and of course you just then. It really is a pleasure, and the quality of pool that we're seeing tonight, and the way it's played, the spirit that it's played in. Okay, I know it's an exhibition match, but there's more to it than that. But just look at the way the guys are getting along. They're out to entertain, and they are entertaining us. And it has been quick fire. And it's been class as well. There's been some really good pool played here. And I'm really, really looking forward to see who's going to get to 25 first on the first day, because I'll tell you what, it's going to be close.
We almost had a crikey there, I thought.
Well, almost, because crikey, have you seen the break that Roberto's just been practicing? He just made 4 balls on one break just then. So hopefully we're going to get it on before he cools down too much. But I think it will be Skylar to break first, though, won't it?
Yeah. How can we get a cheeky bugger out of you?
Oh, I won't say words like that on the microphone.
Oh, is that a bad word?
Not really.
I had no idea.
Really.
Great.
I'm glad. Put it this way: I'm glad you said it and I didn't.
What did I do?
I mean, it's not really, really bad, but you won't get one out of me.
Got it. Sorry.
What are you trying to do to him, Joey?
I don't know. I just like when somebody says that. I didn't realize it was bad.
It's not bad, really.
I'm not one to utter profanities, myself. So.
One thing I'd love to just come back with there, the music to my ears to hear Chad say that Kelly Fisher is going to be joining in some capacity. I mean, what an ambassador for snooker and Q Sports in general she has been. What a woman. Absolutely fabulous lady. Great, great player as well. Cannot wait to see what's going to come from her next.
Yeah, Skylar got that ball on the side. And if he can't, I think he can see the one to cut it in. He also has a good safe opportunity there to leave the cue ball right where the 1 is and 3 rail the 1 out. But I think he'll cut this ball in. When Sky's on and he's pocketing balls, there's not many balls that kind of rattle in. They go center of the pocket. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Well, most of the time when these guys are playing, that's the only target they have.
Yeah.
They call it a miss when they rattle it into the pocket. They're like, I missed that shot.
Look at that shot. Very nicely done.
Really got that cue ball on the string, and he really does get his cue through the ball beautifully. So much power from just such a nice stroke. Big lesson there.
Yeah, there's no real problems here.
Sometimes you just want to sit back, say nothing, and just admire, don't you? Terrific stuff.
Yeah, you know, I watched Sky play some really close matches at the Texas Open, and the thing that I was impressed with the most is the times when he had to come with a shot, you know, close to hill or getting down to the end of a match. And, you know, just being in a scenario where, you know, if you don't make the ball, you're going to lose. You're going to lose the match, not just the game. And it seemed like he always came with it, you know, and it's very impressive how he can perform like that under pressure so often.
And that's the mark of a champion, isn't it? Doing it when you have to, when the pressure's on and you know you need to make a ball. And I know we were talking about his successes earlier on before, and he really does have some titles under his belt, doesn't he?
Yeah, actually, he's had some great years recently. He actually just finished second at that Michael Montgomery Memorial Tournament last year. Not many tournaments. He did win the Music City Classic. Year before, the Derby City 9-ball and Master of the Table and Bankpool Ring Game. That was quite a derby for him. U.S. Open 8-ball in 2019, 2019 Texas Open, 2-time Mosconi Cup MVP. And he took third in the 2018 U.S. International Open. And we were talking about it before this and went through the list of players in that event. And that was just the best players in the world, literally, in that event. So he's had quite a run here over the last several years. And, you know, who knows what would have happened if 2020 wasn't, you know, a COVID year. He might have just continued right where he left off. Look at that stroke.
Unbelievable.
27, right?
Yeah. I think you can see this 2-ball too.
Yeah. Already looking at the 3, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, just say maybe a stop shot, but maybe not. Maybe run this off the back rail.
Yeah, he's just going to follow this, and I think he has room to make the 4 past the 10. No worries there.
Yeah, I mean, the pace that he's playing at right now, I mean, he's just full steam ahead.
It's fun to watch, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very much so. I'll tell you, the viewers out there, you guys are watching something special here. I mean, I can't tell you the last time that you've got to see either of these guys play an extended race. I mean, can you guys refresh my memory here? When was the last time you got to see either Gomez or Woodward play anything longer than like a race to 9?
I can't remember.
I mean, seeing these players, you know, I always compare it to, you know, having, you know, horses in your backyard. It's like, well, you don't know how fast they can run because you don't let them out of your backyard. And when you get to see players of this caliber in this type of setting, I mean, you really get to see how fast they can run. You really get to see the good stuff.
I think Skylar's just realised the last bus is in about 25 minutes and he wants out of there.
He's like, I want to get home early for dinner.
Yeah.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to wait outside for the bus, and not -1 degrees up there in South Dakota.
Want to thank Big Time Threads in Phoenix, Arizona. Make sure you check out their Facebook page. See if they can design something for you for either, you know, your league events or partners tournaments or whatever it is. Go to facebook.com/Big Time Threads.
I think you're thinking of DeLuna, who played Fedor in a race to 100. And Roberto's completely different than Jeffrey DeLuna. Both Filipino, but that's pretty much where the comparisons stop.
Yeah, right about there. So what do you guys think so far? Both Mark and Joey. Wow.
He played the 10.
Call
Played the 10, yeah. Just played the combo.
So thus far, I'm curious what both of you guys are feeling. I mean, we've watched the Danny Olson show, and right now it seems like we're watching the Skylar Woodward show. I mean, is this similar level of play? I mean, take away the fact that the tables had tighter pockets in Danny's match. Is this a similar show that we're watching here?
Well, what I would say is, Chris really struggled out of the gate, and how your opponent plays can dictate how you're playing. And Danny never really felt any pressure, at least from what I could tell, that Chris was really going to be in that match. After he jumped out to that early lead, he was pretty much on cruise control. And so who's to say that if Danny's facing someone like Sky Woodward and Sky's doing this right back at him, right, and they're trading blows, that Danny would hold up the way he did against Chris, So the impression I have here is, and trust me, Danny played an amazing set, but there's just a little bit of a class difference here, right? You're seeing probably the second best American play right now, and you're seeing him play well. And
Yeah.
to me, it just looks a little bit different than what we saw with Danny. Not taking anything away from Danny. Danny played amazing, but he's just not quite at this level yet. That's kind of the impression that I have here.
Yeah, Mark,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Skylar is something special, isn't he? He really, really is a world-class player who plays the game in a really nice way, a way that I enjoy it. He's great for spectators. Now, what I'm going to say next might sound a little bit silly, but I just think if Roberto can get a shot, he can put a few together, because I think he sorted that breakout, and I honestly think he can come back. This isn't like the Danny Olsen and Chris Robinson match. It's different anyway, of course, for obvious reasons, but I think it's going to be a whole lot closer, because if he can get a couple of racks on the board now, Roberto, it's going to go close. I don't think Skylar is going to run away with it completely, although at the moment he is on cruise control. And there you go. Now he's just missed that. So now's a chance for Roberto to come back in. So let's see what he's made of, and let's see if he can run this table and get that break sorted. And I think he can run 3, 4, 5 racks here.
Yeah, this looks pretty straightforward too. It looks like the 5 will pass, and with the 4.5-inch pockets, there should be no problem here. Look at this. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks. This is kind of going to be the same type of thing in a different manner, so to speak. Of a lot of the viewers out there knowing Skylar Woodward because he was on the Mosconi Cup multiple times, multiple time MVP, and he's just more of a household name. But the player that Roberto Gomez is, I mean, he's definitely on that top tier level. I mean, he's a top quality pro. And, if you didn't know about Danny Olsen last week, same thing stands here. If you didn't know Roberto Gomez, you're about to learn what kind of player he is.
Yeah, just to add to that a little bit, Mike, Roberto Gomez has won the Bigfoot Challenge in 2018 at Derby City. He's won the Chinook Winds Open 8-ball, is a huge tournament out there. He's been third in the U.S. Open 10-ball. He's won the Four Bears 8-ball. He was second in the Beijing Open and runner-up in the World 9-ball Championship in 2007. So the guy can play. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's a very big gap in the publicity, especially in the States, for a guy like Skylar Woodward versus a guy like Roberto Gomez, just as far as how much they're in the public eye. But playability, I mean, they're very, very close. And Roberto Gomez has always been, at least in the last, 8 years, I would consider him one of those top tier professionals for sure.
Just hearing Joey reel off all those achievements of both players, I thought Melina Mike had walked in the commentary box for a moment. He really is the statistician, but of course Joey knows his stuff as well. And I just want to say a quick hi, if that's okay, to Jim Telfer. He's made a donation to the stream, so thanks very much, Jim Telfer, for that. Nice of him. Oh, and there's a scratch. Look, what did I say? If he can sort the break out, he's scratched.
Yeah, that's really going to be the deciding factor, at least at the current moment in this match. I did want to also say thank you to Paul Miller for your donation. Jim Telfer, And also Clay Maxim, thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, I just want to clear up. Folks keep asking about the Fedor Gorst matchup. That was against Jeffrey DeLuna, and this is Roberto Gomez, and they're both very good Filipino players. They have pretty different personalities from what I gather. And, the one thing about Roberto, and I shared the story earlier, I'll share it again. Just seeing him down in Texas one time at a tournament, I'm walking across the parking lot. I got my head down in my phone, and I just look up, and there's Roberto Gomez. And he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, what a cool, friendly guy, And I'm not saying that Jeffrey Dillon is not, a friendly guy or whatever. I'm not really sure. But they're just different personalities and two different people. So. This 4-ball looks a little tricky here. I think he's going to try to really get a stroke into this one. Oh, no.
The side, yeah, and it can leave this into the bottom right as well. Nicely played. He wants it to hold up, though. Can he hold on to the 6 here?
I think so. I think that's what he's going to draw the ball. I thought for sure the stream froze because I hadn't seen the guy take that much time.
I had exactly the same thought, Joey. I thought, wow, he's either taking this very seriously or we've got a problem with the stream.
Yeah.
Wow, how about that shot with the reverse off the top rail?
Yeah, it didn't react the way he wanted there, though, Mike. He came out real short on this ball.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay. I mean, it's not ideal for sure, but we're talking about Skylar Woodward here. I got rid of the spammer, folks.
Yeah, we had another one I noticed.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Got a lot of traffic coming in and out of the page, so it's going to happen.
That just shows all the popularity of this stream, so that's a good thing.
They all want to get a piece of the action. They all want to piggyback on the back of this terrific Havoc production.
Oh.
Wow.
That's unfortunate, but just what the doctor ordered for Roberto Gomez.
Absolutely.
Who would have thought that after scratching on the break that he'd be getting another shot?
See, all smiles. He puts the ball up and he's smiling.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
It's an exhibition match, and Sky's making him shoot the ball in hand on the 9. I love it. That's probably why he's smiling.
It's like, you want me to shoot this? Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah. We talked about that this weekend with the other match where it went 165 games, and what did we have, like 3 or 4 concessions during the entire?
Yeah, and there was huge cash on that. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's better that we're getting to see all of the shots played. Considering it's exhibition, but at the same time, these guys, they want to give the audience what they want to see. They want to see every shot be pocketed.
Yeah. I'm making a note of that game because that was a big game right there. Sky's up 15-9, I believe. And really just running out and caught that flick off the 10 ball there and scratch. That might change things a little bit here.
Just needs to get this break right now, doesn't he? Hi to Darren Porter, by the way, from Bangkok. Hi, Darren. Good to have you with us, mate. I know he loves his pool. You're going to enjoy this one. It's great entertainment. It's an exhibition, but it's not being. Well, it is being played like one, but it's a little bit of stuff on the side, shall we say?
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's something between the players. I mean, that's, they've got to make their end worth it, and they need some motivation added too.
Well, he got that ball. Yeah, he got that ball on the side this time, but he still lost the cue ball and almost scratched in the same side where he pocketed the ball.
Yeah.
He's really struggling to get going here with this break, and I expect him to get that under control soon.
So don't see any problems here. Do you, Joey?
Nope, not really. He's
I
just
see
gonna try.
Nick Huzinga in the chat. He says watched Roberto, Gomez, and Jeffrey DeLuna versus Sky and Billy. Skylar Woodward, Billy Thorpe, bar table 9-ball for 15,000 a stick after the SVB Dennis match, and Gomez and Jeffrey won that. So that's something to consider there. Of course, Scotch doubles is very different, but definitely speaking on the level of play.
Yeah, I actually watched that one, Mike.
I tell you what, that Shane and Dennis match, that was the sickest match I've ever seen. For Dennis to come back in that match the way he did, it was unbelievable. It really was. I've never seen anything like it. He got on a roll. When do you see Dennis Cercola running around the table? He's running around the table. He's down by 12, and Shane's on like 118, or it's ridiculous. And he gets all the way back into the match, comes to Hill. He's running out. I think it was Hill. Yeah, he's running out, and he draws off the 8-ball and hits off the point.
Yeah,
I mean,
almost scratched in the side, yeah.
Yeah, you imagine what would have happened there if he scratched in the side. It was so sick. Oh, man, I was fired up that night. That's one of those nights where after watching that, I couldn't get to bed. What a night for pool, really.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about the great match we had last weekend, the Danny Olson, Chris Robinson, and I really want to see Danny Olson in action again, and I really want to ask Chad what he's got in mind for who's coming next. I want to see him play. I want to see another big race to 100.
Well, the Sharks are definitely circling. They want a piece of him, even after that great performance.
Are you saying there's a Finn around?
Well, I told you that Justin came out and said, I hear he wants to play me. Let's do it. And then I got a couple messages from other players that are like, hey, can you set it up? I'd like to play him. So there's a whole slew of people at the 750 to 780 range in the United States that would be a nice step up for Danny. And at the same time, he'd really have to play well to win.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that want to play him, but I'm sure there's just as many that don't want to play him after that performance against Chris Robinson, because he was awesome.
Yeah, I think there's some really intriguing matchups there, like Jeremy Sasse. We heard Jeremy Jones bring his name up as a possible contender for the Mosconi Cup, and he's a 756 Fargo. He might be a nice challenge for him. He's already played Shane McMahon, who's a 758. But as you look up the list, we got Josh Roberts at 770. That would be a nice one. Is he ready for an Earl Strickland or a Rodney Morris or an Oscar Dominguez? Kind of moving up that list. And then you got the real top dogs there with Justin Bergman and Sky Woodward, who are pushing 800 Fargo.
Yeah, I mean, I think that playability-wise, yes, but experience-wise, no. Like the level of play that a guy like Danny Olson can achieve, I mean, for sure. But, experience-wise, I think a couple more of those matchups, and kind of let him enjoy the road getting there. Not for nothing. I mean, when you open up a video game, you don't go straight to the end. You kind of got to enjoy the road getting to the boss of the stage or whatever it is. And I think it's going to be the same thing on Danny Olson's journey.
Yeah, it's a bit like protecting a boxer, isn't it, as well? You want to give him the right opponents, ones that are going to test him a little bit, but he's got a good chance against, and then throw him in against the big one. I'd love to see him. I'd love to just see the way he reacts to somebody like Skylar. I'd love to see that, or Tyler Steyer, somebody like that,
Yeah. Well, him against Tyler Steyer, that would be quite a break contest, I think. I mean, as well as Danny broke in that match against Chris Robinson, I think Tyler breaks even better in 10 balls. So that would be definitely intriguing. I'd really like to see him step up against somebody like Rodney Morris. Rodney's just a fantastic talent and so smooth around the table and so experienced.
Pure entertainment on top of that, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And they couldn't be different personality-wise. Like when we interviewed Danny, it was tough to get like 5 words out of him. But, and Rodney, we probably couldn't get him to shut up. But I think that would be a really intriguing matchup.
Great jump there, by the way. Over the edge of the 5 ball, I think it was, wasn't it? Or the 4. 3 along the rail.
Very nice shot here, just missing the 10.
Yeah, Olsen Archer. What about that one then?
That's another good one. I'd like to see that as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, Greg. Olsen Archer. How about there's a big match coming up. I'm actually going to be commentating it with Oscar Dominguez and Johnny Archer. That should be pretty interesting match. And I heard that there's over 60,000 in the middle on that one.
Yeah, I saw the poster for that today and saw your name attached to it. You're a man in demand, Joey.
It's my good buddy Ben Sutherland streaming that one out there at Griff's. They have a nice little setup there with the cameras already installed, and he's got like this sound booth. And any chance I get to Griff's in Las Vegas, I like to do it because it's just a wonderful pool room. I don't know if either of you guys have ever been there.
I've heard of it.
I haven't made it to Griff's yet.
A lot of people want to go to Kilimanjaro or to the Great Barrier Reef. I want to go to Griff's.
Let's see if we can make that happen.
You know, that's how the idea for my podcast started, really, is I travel for my day job. And what I wanted to do was stop in different pool rooms in the 13 states that I cover for my day job and just kind of give highlights to the pool rooms. You know, that way people got to know about them and the best players in those pool rooms. And then COVID hit. And when it did, everything had to go virtual. And so hopefully when the country opens back up and I get to traveling again, I'll be able to kind of fulfill that dream of getting out there and showing you guys some of the best rooms out there.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. I'd
Can
love
you,
to see that.
Can you get me in your suitcase at all?
How about I come over to the UK, Mark, and you show me some spots over there?
There's no action here for pool, really. London, I guess there is, and up north, but not where I live. I mean, I think we've got 2 tables in a 50-mile radius, I think, something like that. It's mainly snooker around here. I'll take you on at snooker.
Yeah, you probably will. You know, they have a Snooker Academy in Phoenix, Arizona. Just opened up about a year or 2 ago.
Wow.
And apparently they have a couple world-class snooker players that play here. I mean, I don't know, world-class, but very good snooker players. And it's a membership type of deal where you pay a certain membership fee and you can belong to the snooker club. And so I've been meaning to check that out. I've just been too busy, but I really do want to check that out because, you know, where else would you find in America, in a city, a snooker club like Academy? So I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, you should do it. I'm sure you would love it as well. I know you would.
Well, I played a little bit in college. We had a snooker table in the pool room that we had there, and a lot of the students there were from India and played snooker. And so I kind of got bored playing pool, and they took me over there and whooped me up a little playing snooker. Then I went to table tennis, and we had a lot of Asian students, and Roberto just hit that ball really bad.
It's a miss.
And he got lucky.
Ooh.
Like he got right on the back of the 6. They're kind of looking at it right now.
Just rocked on it, didn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if you can see this. If not, I expect a little curveball here, a little masse.
Talking of Massey, Mike Massey, he turned from pool to snooker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, back in the 80s, I believe it was.
Didn't know that. Hey, Mark, do you know how Roberto got his nickname?
Well, I heard today, I was told about it by a guy that I was commentating on, a guy from France who claims to know him very well. And apparently on his break, his arm flies up in the air and he sort of got called Superman. My friend said, "Oh, you look like Superman when you're breaking." And then there was some tournament that he had to get to and the flight was cancelled and he couldn't get there. So he said something to him like, "Well, why don't you just fly there? You are Superman." And apparently that's when the name stuck. How true it is or not, I don't know.
Huh. That's a pretty cool story.
I'd like to think it's true.
Yeah.
When did you ever let the truth get in the way of a good story anyway?
I don't know. So Kelly says that Efren gave him his nickname, and I think Kelly might know.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't care what the name is. If Efren gave it to me, I'm going to love it. By the way, Mark, you guys didn't get to see this in Piazzas. They have this enormous photograph of Efren Reyes when he was younger, down on a ball shooting it. And it's like one of these photographs where it's kind of like a collage of a whole bunch of little things that make up this big photograph. It's really one of the coolest things I've seen. I was like, that is sweet. Look at this.
Wow. Did you take a photograph of it or not?
You know, I didn't. I meant to, and I just never got around to it. And by the time the stream ended, I was exhausted and just left. But actually, I did play Tony Piazza a couple games of one pocket, but then I left.
Ah.
This guy's got to pull this one back here a little bit to get down on the 4. Nice smooth stroke.
Oh,
Yeah, beautifully.
how well did he hit that?
Makes it look easy. I don't know, Mark. He might have to pop this one and try to jack up and stop it or draw it, because the future going forward here might not be too good.
He's going up, isn't he? For sure, he's going up.
Yeah, maybe he can circle the pocket and come out and hit the 8 ball.
Like that idea.
Yeah.
Didn't want to clip the 9.
Well, talking of Superman, Skylar is going to have to go skywoods here. Going for the jump. What's the chances of making this one then, Joey? Quite good, I reckon.
I got him at about 72%.
I go 73.
I can name that tune, and
Yeah, do you remember that?
it's back.
You're
It's
showing
back. Look at this.
What a shot!
Gosh. Look at this kid.
Find this guy up.
So he may be able to make this 6 and roll down and play the 8 in the opposite side, because I don't think the 8's going to pass the 10. He's looking at that now. Looks like he's straight enough that he might be able to roll down past this 9 if he needs to. But the way he kind of popped up there makes me believe the 8 might pass the 10.
Just read that comment there from Patrick Roy.
Yeah, it's made out of balls. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. It was really slick.
Oh, what's it to run it as?
Well, we might see that bank shot here, or he might just cut it in the side.
Yeah, be jacking up here, I think, in the side pocket.
And he's looking at the side.
Draw off the side route.
This would be a shot here.
Back route, sorry. This one won't roll off. Great shot.
Jeez.
Wow, he really is just playing fantastic.
So
Slide this down the rail.
he's got a super sharp cut here, but the way he's playing right now almost looks like a hanger.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
It's
Wow.
hard to imagine him missing right now.
Look at the pace on it as well.
Is
Brilliant.
this fun to watch? I mean, for all you guys out here watching this match, it's a Wednesday night and you're getting to watch this type of pool here on this stream. I mean, how sick is this?
And guys, if you are just joining us, please make sure you hit that share button, get those numbers up. Want to make sure everybody can enjoy this match. I'm sure that if you didn't know the stream was going on right now and these guys were playing, you would appreciate seeing someone sharing it to your pool group or whatever it is. So make sure you get those numbers up there, share it, put it out there. And of course, if you are able to donate, there is a pinned comment. We appreciate anything. Really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, guys, donate. Hook Mike up, man. He works his heart out for this, heart and soul, puts into every production. I've witnessed it, and it's something to see. So take care of the guy. Uh-oh.
Oh, and that's the right word, though, production, because it's not just, as Nate Minden might say, somebody sticking a camera on a table and begging for money. This is the real deal. And Chad Havoc and all you guys, and especially Mike there, and we saw the work that's gone into just the introduction that he put today that people loved. It really was an epic. It's like he's making movies now as well. He's more like Steven Spielberg.
I don't know about just that, but if you guys are curious what happens with those donations, I just want you to know that my commitment back to the pool community, the folks that are able to support, it goes right back into it to make the production better, to make things better for the next stream. I've already reinvested, whatever came out of, last weekend streams into more equipment to make things better for you guys. So, that's my commitment to you. I'm not buying a new car or anything like that.
I think Roberto miscued on that last shot.
He did, yeah.
I just want to say hi to my friend Danny Mastermaker who jumped in. Really good player out of Virginia. What's up,
Danny Mastermaker.
He's a good player, man.
Yeah, he actually was on the on one of the first virtual events that we did on Ship the Cash. He ended up beating Mike Badstubner in the final of the Tournament of Champions. He and Mike Badstubner went at it in the finals, and Danny edged him out, but just barely.
Yeah, let me tell you something about Danny. When we used to compete together on the Planet Pool Tour, he was a person I liked to draw, right? Because I kind of felt like, hey, I think I can beat him. And it wasn't too long after that he was a person I didn't want to draw. So he worked hard on his game, and he became a really strong player. And even after I left, I don't think he plays much anymore, but after I left town, I noticed he was having a great deal of success. He's a good player.
Yeah, David says in the chat that it's only an exhibition. There's nothing on it, but I can assure you there is something on it. I'm sure that both had a little bit of a wager themselves, and plus, apparently there's a lot of stuff going on outside as well. And they're both playing to win. You can be assured of that.
Looks like if you look up in the top left corner, Chad Shoulders is over there trying to get Roberto fired up. See him over there?
Yes, I've just moved my little box because I'm watching on one screen. So I've got you were covering Chad, but I just moved you out the way for a second, and yeah, I saw him. And let's hope he can pull a few back, playing to 25 tonight. It is a race to 50, and that will be tomorrow. So put it in your diary for tomorrow. And here we go.
Again, we see corner balls flying in. He actually had a ball going in the side, and another ball nudged it. And he pocketed the one, which leaves this kind of long shot on the two here. Looks like he's just going to cut it in this bottom right. Oh, no, play safe. Smarter shot. Not hard enough, though, I don't think. I think Roberto will be able to get an edge of this. There's a nice little billiard here, too.
Yeah, on the 4 ball. I've seen that. Would you play it, Joey? I would.
I think I would, because I think the 2, when you cut it to play the billiard, is going to hit the 8 and kind of stay right down there.
Yeah, it might even go off the 8.
Yeah, normally you're going to have to hit this with a little bit of pace, and you might lose the 2 ball, but because the 8's right there, I think the 2 ball kind of stay there for him. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I reckon. I think the 2 ball might go close, might just slide off the edge of the 8 and go very close to that pocket as well.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, he did play it. Look, just like that. I love it when a commentating plan comes together.
We should try commentating together.
It's like there's enough times where we look like idiots. It's great when we actually call something and it works out.
Yeah, but I've got a way out of that. The player changed their mind. We didn't get it wrong.
It's a good shot.
I know a couple of you folks out there were questioning the score, and we did verify that the score is proper. That is correct. And I want to thank Stacy Hatcher for your donation. Thank you very much. Very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing about the the nature of the match. It's an exhibition put on by Havoc Productions, and the players probably have something on this themselves, but Havoc is not in the business of backing or being a part of the gambling portion of this. So that's why we don't really have any information on that. But players of this caliber, I'd be shocked if they were just playing for fun.
It's a job after all.
Yeah. It's funny how you kind of look at the lines here, and folks are talking about now Sky -5 from here. When I heard earlier, people were looking for Sky with a couple games.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Look at Roberto.
What has he done there?
This is so, like, bad things happen to him. He kind of shrugs it off, laughs a little. I really love his personality. Super cool.
Oh, great shot.
Wow. Takes a lot to be able to bear down and get that, especially from, his positioning and that he's trailing in the match. Great shot there. Got 12-18 right now. And I do want to take a minute to thank some of our sponsors here. I want to thank Rick's Mobile RV Service and Repair. Again, in the Rhode Island, Mass, or Connecticut area. That is the guy you want to contact right there. They will come to you and fix it on the spot. And also from Mr. Rick Silva, you got the Grouse Landing listing on Airbnb. Make sure you go check that out. That's in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. You can accommodate up to 10 guests there. Plenty of space there. The outdoor part of that property seems like that's the super draw there. That just looks amazing. And again, that's Grouse Landing in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. Look that up on Airbnb.
So here we go then. 18-12, just 6 in it. And if he can get a little run here, 2 or 3 racks, he's right back in it, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the whole match, it seems like it's been, the Sky Woodward show.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's all right. I mean, it's such a big swing right there. The break is such a key, playing any type of pool at this level. And Roberto just really hasn't gotten that to work out in his favor just yet.
No, it wasn't a great break. It was a little bit unlucky, you could say, to get a kick from the one like that. Straight into the top right. Now it's pretty easy from here, Mike. Or if he doesn't go behind the 10, he's okay.
Yeah, I think Skylar's kind of just been, rolling downhill for the majority of the match. But I got to give a lot of credit to Roberto Gomez for, picking up, whenever he has the opportunity. Aside from the shortcomings on the breaks, he's really capitalized pretty much every time that Skylar's given him an opportunity. And again, that's why he's one of those top contenders. But, he really needs to figure something out with the break, or this is not going to go in his favor. Skylar really just came out right off the rip with a powerful break. That was a successful break, and he's been shooting lights out on top of it. So, Gomez really needs to figure out that break. And I believe both players were actually mentioning something about how they were situating that template. How they were situating the rack, where it's like, they're obviously putting the one ball on the spot there, but I think it's, like a 1/4 inch up, 1/8 inch up, 1/8 inch down, something like that, just exactly where it needs to be situated for them to have success.
Yeah, Roberto said he was fiddling with it, didn't he? Just moving it here and there, just slight adjustments to try and make the ball. And we've seen 2 scratches from him since the break.
Looks like Roberto might be taking a quick bathroom break, but
and Sky says that's fine.
Yeah, I think there'll be another 2 racks gone by the time he gets back.
Yeah, that's it. Day 1's over. No.
I tell you, he's one of my favorite players to watch. It's just he's moving so fast and fluid and effortless around the table, and he's not even waiting for Roberto to get back. This is my thing. I never play when my opponent's not back. I don't know.
No, I don't.
I just kind of feel like it's almost like I have this thing in my conscience. Like, what if they come back and think I cheated?
We had this conversation, didn't we? You should only go for the bathroom break really on your own shot. I mean,
Correct.
That's what I normally do, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I had mentioned that's one of the rules that's dictated at the Ship to Cash events, the in-room events. You can only take a restroom break when it's your turn at the table, and your opponent is not permitted to follow you there either. Because apparently, things that seem like they should just be common practice are just not. Where you say, hey, I'm going to take my break, and you go to the restroom, and next thing you know, your opponent's standing next to you saying, hey, how about that 5-ball? And it's like, yeah, not the time, brother, not the time.
Yeah,
you gotta give your own space there. But I mean, between these 2 guys, it's not really it's not that type of situation.
Hey, Mike, they
Yes,
talk
sir.
trash in the Northeast?
Do they talk trash?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, it's not well, they talk trash everywhere, so don't pretend. But no, I mean in general, like, and it's even like it's innocent just conversation, and people just don't even understand that. It's like, why are you telling me these things right now? I'm just trying to like clear my head and use the restroom, wash my hands and stuff, and your opponent shows up in your quiet time, alone time that you get away from the table, and he's standing next to you saying, hey, yeah, that 5-ball, tough shot, huh, buddy? And like, they might not mean anything by it, but the way you're going to take it, you're going to be like, really, buddy? Come on. You just kind of got to dictate those things.
Yeah, that was a nice shot here. He's got a nice angle on the 4-ball too.
That was not easy, was it? I had to look around the side of the cue just to check that he was safe distance over that ball. Oh, I didn't cue that well.
Wipes his feet a bit, but still falls.
Some say that's going in cleanly, wiping its feet.
So all my balls get pocketed.
Yeah, and when you're queuing well, they go in, don't they? It's when you're queuing not very good. They wobble and stay out.
Somehow I don't believe that, Joey. I think you're hitting center pocket most times.
Yeah.
He's like, no comment.
5-inch pockets.
Oh boy, here we go. Look at his pace, man.
Yeah, he's
absolute monster, as they're calling him in the chat. And he's a machine.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
what other top player like Sky will you see play at that pace? Filler?
Dennis at the end of a 10-ball match.
Yeah. Dennis on the come.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
I'm
Alex. See Alex
No.
play? I don't know. I mean,
No, I think I've just seen Alex be very deliberate.
in this setting, though, I think Alex would be in this same type of scenario. I think he'd be kind of similar as far as the pace.
I think Alex would be reaching out to the fans, high-fiving people.
Oh yeah, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? Like,
Absolutely.
trying to get them involved. I mean, what a guy.
I'll tell you, there's an interesting video. I gotta find the link there. I'll put it out there. But there's it was a tournament / exhibition between Alex and another top player, and he was literally just like talking to the crowd as he like hooks himself. He's like, "Oh no, I'm hooked on the 7." And he's like, "I guess I'll just kick it in." And then he'll kick it and he makes it and haha, I made it. And he's telling like the other guy, you know, like it was a funsy type of match, but the level of play and just the way that he went about it was just, oh, it was so great to watch.
Good save by Roberto. Pretty straightforward, but
Clever, wasn't it? The way he used the 9 there as well. I like that.
you know, when I had Alex on the podcast, he told the most amazing story. I can't remember the exact age he said, but I want to say it was 12 years old. That's what I think he said. That at 12 years old, he had 10 cents in his pocket, and he wanted to do something different with his life. You know, family didn't have a lot of money in the Philippines, and so he took a cab. I think it cost him like half of the money, and he goes to a pool room, and he sees this guy there that he knew had money, and he approached him, and he said, "It's going to sell out there." He approached him, and he said, "Hey, how about you take me back to your town or wherever you want to take me, and I'll make you some money playing pool." And the guy said, "Well, go over on that table and hit some balls." So Alex goes over on the table and hits some balls, and the guy's like, "Let's go." So they leave, and Alex is on the road with this guy for 8 months and traveling to this guy's town in the Philippines. Meanwhile, his family has filed a missing persons report, you know, because he didn't tell anybody he was going anywhere. He just took off with this guy. And so eventually his dad found him, and obviously his road trip was over. But I'm like, what a story.
Brilliant.
And so, yeah. And so that's stories like that is kind of why I wanted to do the podcast. You know, just hearing stuff like that is just nuts.
And we got Skylar's mum in the chat. Thanks for the stream, guys. Awesome commentary. Thank you very much. Your son is an awesome player. We're loving it. As I'm
Say
sure
that
you
again.
Yeah, reminds me of the story, you just telling that story, the other great story I heard on your podcast. By the way, if those of you that haven't heard this guy's podcast, Pool Player Podcast, absolutely brilliant. Has some great guests on there. And, well, tell them the story about Kelly Fisher when she, I mean, can I just put it in perspective? Like she's at the time 4-time female world snooker champion, absolute professional ambassador for the game, the most famous female snooker player in the world. And then all of a sudden sponsorship, when the tobacco companies were taking out of advertising, the women's game suffered and she had no more. And then her friend Alison Fisher was over in the States, wasn't she? And you can take it from there.
Yeah, Allison and Karen had already come over, and Kelly was like, you know, I'm going to come over to the United States. So she literally was $750 in her pocket, just left the UK, went over to the United States, and was staying in an apartment in New York with one of her friends. I forget, it was actually a good player. I forget who it was.
Yeah, if you said it, I would. Jackie somebody, was it?
No, it was, I'll think of it. But it was another British player who was over there, or English player. And so anyway, she gets over here, and like she has to go through all the qualifying for, you know, the women's tour right from the start. Even though she was a world champion snooker player, they're like, yeah, sorry, you got to go to Maryland and compete in this, you know, qualifier tournament, you know, against mostly amateurs. And Kelly was like, okay, when's that? And they're like, this weekend. And she's like, okay, well, I have two problems. I don't have a cue, and I don't know the rules. And so they're like, okay, we'll teach you the rules. Don't worry. We'll teach you how to hit a bank shot. We'll show you, you know, how the game's played. Well, long story short, she goes down to Maryland for that tournament, and of course qualifies, and you know, makes it onto the, at least a woman's event at that point, a professional event, and then eventually, obviously, the women's tour. And
But Joey, where can they hear this stuff? Where's the original recording of this? Where can folks go and see this?
Yeah, it's on Pool Player Podcast on YouTube. So just go to YouTube, check Pool Player Podcast. I think we're up to about 26, 27 interviews with top professionals, females, males, We even got a junior interview this weekend, Chad's player, Cash Lance. And that was my first live interview. So that was pretty cool and a new experience. And I'll tell you what, for a junior, he did great. I was like, I wonder how this is going to go. But I thought he crushed it and did a good job there. But
How
but
about
yeah.
Roberto Gomez's break here? He finally made something work. I think he made like 11 balls out of 10. You know, I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping he can make this a habit here.
Oh, he wants to slow up. He's okay.
Go ahead. Tell me I cursed him.
There you go. Look, Heather Torpin. She's just watched that today. Can you believe it? She's just watched your podcast, the Kelly Fisher one today, and she says it was Kim Shaw.
Kim Shaw, that's right, Heather. And Heather's my friend out here in Arizona. She's a good player in her own right. So yeah, it was Kim Shaw. And but one thing about that story that's kind of cool, where she kind of takes it, is, you know, Allison had been somebody that she had been chasing in the snooker world for a long time. Then Allison moved over here, and her first professional tournament, I think she said it was in Toronto, and guess who she draws? Allison Fisher, you know. And so she jumps out and she's beating Allison. I think it's 8-0 in a race to 9. And she's thinking, wow, this is going to be easy. You know, I'm just going to be the best player over here. Wouldn't you know, Allison Fisher came back and beat her 9-8.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, just, I mean, we're talking about fabulous pool players there. You know, the whole rivalry with Allison, Karen, and Kelly has been really fun to watch over the years.
Yeah, and Alison done some great commentary, I just want to say, on the Moscone Cup. She was great. I thought she brought something lovely to the commentary. Very calm and very, very knowledgeable, of course, on 9-ball. And she was great. It was lovely to hear her again. She really is a lovely lady.
Yeah, I agree. I thought she did a great job. And somebody corrected me. The tournament was in Windsor, Ontario. Look at this. He scratches up in the corner. Look, Roberto's just like, what can go right for me tonight? Because everything's kind of going wrong.
Yeah, Skylar's been down to that ball tray, hasn't he, a few times tonight to collect the white. I think that's the 4th time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know we keep talking, or I keep talking about it. I keep trying to get Joey to talk about it more, because I can honestly say I've learned so much about the pool industry just the last few days since meeting you. And I've been an avid viewer. I've subscribed to it, I might add. And yes, it is 27 that you have, and I think I've done 4 of them so far.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Mark.
And that's my new bedtime listening. Nate Mindham, you are no more.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you're going to start a war here, Mark. And I don't think it's one that anyone wants to fight.
I'm trying to get Nate Mindham into a pool match, the Battle of the Podcasters, see if we can get it going. He plays pretty good pool.
Any idea who could stream that one?
Any idea who could commentate on it?
I think we've got a great thing in the making here.
I want a piece of him.
Wow, that sounds great. Want to thank Brock Crone for your donation. Thank you very much, Brock.
Yeah, we're up to 1.2
million. I'm optimistic.
Of course.
Wouldn't that be great, though?
Yeah.
It will happen.
We can get there. We can get there. And at this time, I would like to shout out some of our sponsors. Of course, iStream Pool, making matches like this possible with those lovely HD camera devices. I also want to thank Bo Powers and Amazing Billiards up in Malden, Massachusetts. If you haven't been to that place, please go check them out. Definitely somewhere that you want to be. Also want to thank this man right here, Mr. Vic Paradise, Vic Pero, from Where the Cash At, adding some, just a special flavor to our scene over here in Rhode Island. And I got to say, Vic, you're doing great. Keep up the good work. Really great to have you. Guys, what's been the handoff here as far as Sky's break goes? I mean, has he been, have you been noticing that he's been consistent in a particular thing, or has it kind of just been he's breaking, making a ball, and getting a shot? Like, is he making something consistently?
Well, right up until then that you mentioned it, he's just broke dry. I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But to your point, Mike, or to your question, no, I haven't seen anything consistent this guy's been doing. He's not making the ball on the side every time.
He's just making a ball somehow.
Yeah, and they're getting a lot of the flyers of the corner ball that circles the table 4 rails and comes back in, I think. But yeah, it's he's just getting a ball more often than Roberto's getting a ball, but neither of them are hitting that break the way we saw over the weekend when they were using the template rack and getting that second ball on the side like you would expect in 10 ball.
Do you prefer the rack or what they're using tonight? Do you prefer the magic rack or do you prefer the wooden rung?
Well, it depends on how well my opponent knows how to rack, Mark. If they don't know anything about racking, then I prefer the triangle rack. But yeah, no, I mean, you can't really go wrong with the template rack. It kind of evens the playing field,
And it makes it so it's consistent too. I mean, if it's rack for your opponent, it's always, well, did he give you a good rack, and is it the same thing? And then even rack for yourself, rack your own. That's favored, in my opinion, versus rack for your opponent. But even then, I think template is kind of a way forward. And, maybe with 9 ball, a lot of folks frown upon it because they're like, oh, it just makes the wing ball easier and this, that, and the other. But, I mean, just have a consistent game. A 9 ball is a little bit different, though, compared to 10 ball. It's kind of a different animal when you look at it in terms of the break. I don't know if you guys agree with me there, but I feel like, 9 ball with a template is vastly different than 10 ball with a template.
Yeah. The 9 ball with the template rack, I think you got to do 9 on a spot. I hate kind of tweaking it from the original intention of the spot, but it's just too easy to make that corner ball every single time.
Yeah.
So it becomes just, how the ball's spread. It encourages pattern racking, which is a problem. So I'm in favor. If you're going to do 9 ball, you put the 9 on the spot with the template rack.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I could see that. I like that. How's the speed here?
It's okay, just, I think.
Yeah, he's got a couple safe options here. He can bank the 2 out and play the cue ball into the 5, I think.
Yeah, that's a good option.
I think he can miss the 3 on that. I tell you one thing I do like. I like the matchroom rule that you can't check the rack. Once the rack's done, it's done. Not allowed to walk up and check the rack. It's really frustrating when you're watching a match, a good match like this, and the players are taking 10 minutes in between each rack to kind of,
yeah, that puts me off.
Make people re-rack, things like that.
That really puts me off watching a game when you see that.
Yeah, Greg Hogue, I agree with you there. He says wood for 9, template for 10. I think that in specifically a director's perspective, when I'm hosting an event, especially when there's a ton of players and X amount of tables, I do favor putting a template out there as available to the players just to kind of speed things up a little bit. Sometimes, the equipment's a little bit tough to rack on, things like that. So, that changes the reasoning for it, but it does help move along a tournament if you can just say, hey, we've got templates available. And, the players put them on the template, they rack the balls, they break the balls, they continue. But if it's in a controlled environment, I'm agreeing with that.
I anticipated a comment about Mosconi Cup and rack checking. There was definitely the appearance of some inconsistencies with the rack, and even racks that were hit. And I'm not saying one team or the other, but just racks that were hitting the balls were just like dead. You know, nothing really exploded like it's supposed to when you have a really, really good 9-ball rack.
I thought that arena seemed a bit, maybe because of the lack of audience, of course, just a little bit cold, and I thought the conditions were a little bit sluggish. I mean, I'm sure they weren't, but just seemed that way. Like the ball's not racking properly and rolling properly. It's slow. Do you think the table was super fast?
Yeah, so Chris, after the match this weekend, Chris showed us a shot that was like, I don't know, almost a 45-degree cut in the corner pocket, and he said that you almost had to hit that ball straight on and not even cut it because the conditions were so slick. Yeah. So the balls were so clean, the lights had dried out everything. Right. So it really changed the dynamics of how the balls reacted. Of course, he responded pretty well to it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
That's a great shot right there.
I want to say thank you to Jeremy Toribio. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate that.
Great comment, Lexus Bazinet. Can we vote to adjust the race to 100?
Well, I can see your point there, Chad. Lexus, of course, is my good friend, Mr. Chad Bazinet, from up in Bangor, Maine, just south of the stratosphere.
Great song. Trailer for sale or rent. That's where the train was going.
The stratosphere?
Bangor, Maine.
Oh, it was going to Bangor, Maine.
King of the Road.
Chad would know about that.
Yeah, Chad will know that song. You put up the words, Chad, and I'll sing them.
How good does Sky Woodward play? I mean, this guy is putting on a clinic.
Wow. He's at a 3-to-2 ratio right now. This goes right past that. Wow. 22-14 is what we got right now. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't seem like Sky's going to let up. It's the Skylar Woodward show. And it's all thanks to Roberto not being able to get those the breakdown pad there. I mean, let's hope he can make an adjustment. And I want to thank Big Time Threads over in Phoenix, Arizona. Make sure you guys check them out. They do screen printing. And as Joey had suggested earlier, if you guys are going to a partners event or you have a team event or something, those are the guys you want to reach out to. They can make you some awesome shirts. Big Time Threads. You can go to their Facebook page and check them out.
What a great name, Big Time Threads. I like that.
Yeah, you want to be big time? Go to Big Time Threads. That's how it works.
Yeah, they do all the team shirts for us out here in Arizona whenever we have team events or headed to Vegas. Adam Kroll, his group, they do a great job there, Big Time Threads.
For a man that said he hadn't been playing very much, he's hitting the ball very well, isn't he?
Yeah, he actually said, I'm not going to pretend like I'm playing my best because I'm not. It's like, well, what's this then? Is this your so-so game, buddy?
Yeah.
You know,
I'd love to see your top game. Seeing this is just so-so.
Yeah, Mike, and the thing you got to love about Sky, that's not arrogance. You know, some people say
not at all.
It seems like arrogance, you know, but with Sky, it's just Sky, and he's just telling the truth. You know, I'm not feeling great. I'm just running out every time.
I know one of you guys wants to say it. He hung the 3-ball.
Yeah. It was a billiard.
Yeah.
I wonder if that 10 can squeeze in the side here.
Well, if it can, I'm sure he's going to take a look at it at least. But queuing over the 3 is tough, so.
He might, yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's tried it. He knows safety.
Yeah, he's going with the guarantee there. I see a 2-rail kick here.
Yeah, 2 rails up around that corner with the 3-ball. That's the shot. And look where the 2 is. If he makes this ball. I got him about 59% to make this shot.
I go 60.
It's like you're always one up on me there, Mark.
Yeah, well, I get anything over 60%. You get anything under.
Make an assessment. I'm going to go one more.
The closest one without going over. It's like the Price is Right.
Safe behind the, up by the.
Yeah, I like that shot.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to execute too.
Yeah.
Just looking at it. Whoa, behind the back. Filipinos are really good behind the back.
Joey, you seeing Nate Mindham's comments in the chat there? I took care of the spammer for you, Nate, by the way. He's gone. Or she's gone, whatever it was.
Look, he cut it in.
Behind the back. Wow.
Oh, I tell you what, this is a good opportunity to bank this 2 into the 3 since it's a hanger. Makes that pocket really big.
Maybe for you, Joey.
Well, he's not
Safe.
doing it. Okay. I would have banked the 2 and the 3.
And there you go. Just shows that he still wants to win this. He's not out of it by any means.
I don't think Nate was on here when I called him out to matchup.
Yeah, we already know who's streaming it and who's commentating, so all we need now is the second player to agree to it.
Yeah, he's called you out, Nate. I'm sure that's why he's come back on. Somebody's been on the phone to him. Hey, there's chat. They're chatting about you. They want some action.
The battle of the podcasts.
Oh, that's a nice kick.
Wow, look at the result.
Beautiful shot.
Look at the result there.
Wonder if I'll have to jump a little bit here to get out of this traffic.
I think he just said 5 rails, 2 to the 7. No.
Here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Oh.
Not true at all, Nate. All I said was I think it'd be a good matchup. Well, Sky appears to be out here. No real problems.
Yeah.
354 messages, he says. Are you sure that's it? That's all?
You know he doesn't have 354 friends.
Ooh,
No, but you do. They're messaging him.
the low blows begin.
He came up a little short here. He's gonna have to cut this ball, but the way he's been cutting balls tonight, it's kind of ridiculous. I wonder if he'll go over back. Yep. Not gonna. Is it gonna? Yeah. Look at this. Perfect. Oh man, he's played so good.
Thank you, Jim Telfer. Appreciate that.
I'd have to bring in a big gun, Demetrius. I know how well you play. Don't even try it.
See, that's what Nate was doing behind the scenes. He was messaging his big gun friend saying, hey, you tell him that he's got to get through you first.
Bringing in reinforcements.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 23 to 14. Remember, when someone gets to 25, we are going to conclude tonight's match and finish up tomorrow. Stephen Hall, thank you very much for your donation. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think we'll have plenty of people coming back for take 2 of this tomorrow. And I wonder what Mike has got in store for us as the sequel to Star Wars tomorrow.
I actually would kind of like to run it again, but with an adjustment.
Okay.
You know, I think I kind of want to run that again, but with an adjustment. I mean, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew in just a short time. I'm a big fan of do it proper or don't do it. So
And that's not going to get there.
Still cuts though.
you might see that tricky shot here. I don't know how much he can hold the cue ball, but he could stay on the left side of the 5-ball.
That one you like, Mike. You love
Yes.
this shot.
I do. Let's see if he swings at it. I feel like he wants to.
Mike's talking about low inside and kind of. Oh, he went
Oh
around.
wow, went all the way around.
Still okay.
Okay, I mean that's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's why he's Skylar Woodward, folks, because he can do things just like that.
Very impressive.
Is Jim Telfer serious? It's amazing how many times. It's amazing how many hit and hopes come out good for Sky. Wow. I'm not seeing that.
I'm not either, but maybe he went the other way. Wow, look at this, man. This is just
It's a clinic. It really is.
wow.
Yep. Clinical. Fabulous. 24 now.
Well, if you wanted to know how to play pool, you're seeing it right here. This is how you do it.
And if you've missed any of it, I'd strongly suggest you going back to the beginning of it again after this and watching it, because there's been absolutely brilliant stuff tonight.
You can say that again. And speaking of brilliant, here's a guy right here, Mr. Jack Taransky. Remember, if you want to get one of those exclusive Roy's Basement cue holders, that's your guy, Jack Taransky. You can hit him up right here on Facebook. That break just seems to be working for Sky. It's almost like he's got like a 4-way break shot. Like if it's not this one in, then this one goes in, and he's got a few different options for that. It's almost making it seem like when Sky breaks, it's 9-ball, and when Roberto breaks, it's a 10-ball break, and he's getting the same trials and tribulations of the normal stuff that we'd see out of 10-ball. But when Sky's breaking, it's like he's got the percentages of a 9-ball break, and it's kind of crazy how it's going.
And then Roberto's getting punished like at times like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost like the...
Might be able to clip the right-hand side of the one, come back down table.
Reminds me of the Danny Olsen break and good safety. We saw that plenty of times, didn't we?
Like this. Nice shot. Get by it. No.
No.
He's actually going to lead the shot here.
And this could be it, folks.
Yeah,
That's all, folks.
the way Sky's playing, I wouldn't doubt it here. Makes this one, he gets right in line on the 3, it looks like. Yep.
Well, I must admit, guys, I didn't expect to be going to bed so early tonight. This is a walk in the park for me.
What time is it, Mark?
Let's just have a quick look. It's 4:43 a.m.
No big deal.
No, it's an early night.
I'll tell you
Sounds
what,
like-
you can send a little fruit basket to Sky Woodward for that one.
Yeah. It was 6:15, the last one.
Look at this dedication from Mark White from the UK, hanging in there with us late at night.
You know, I wish I could could just keep watching Skylar Woodward now until 6:15 in the morning. I really do. I could. So easy on the eye. Beautiful to watch.
So I'm
Thank
sure
you,
we're gonna-
Cynthia Gullett. Thank you, Cynthia Gullett, for your donation. Appreciate that.
This might be a tough conversation with Roberto.
I think it's going to be the same type of flow as earlier, to be honest. Wow, there you go. There you go. All right, so Sky Woodward ends the night at 25, and Roberto Gomez at just 14. I'll tell you, I mean, that's a 10-game gap. I mean, 4s and 5s are pretty manageable, but, 11, that's a little higher of a mountain. A little tougher there.
Yeah, it's really surprising to me that obviously I'm not taking anything away from Sky Woodward, but just that the gap is so big here at the end of day one.
Yeah, it's going to have to win 36-12 maybe tomorrow. Something like that. It's a tough one, isn't it?
Well, the way you got to look at it is Sky did it to you on day one. I'll just do it back to him on day two.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, and I think if he sorts the break out, then why not? It's not over by any means, is it?
Hey,
No.
Gary, this match is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's actually South Dakota.
T, South Dakota. That's correct. It's at the American Legion in T, South Dakota. And just if you weren't understanding how this match was set up, Chad Shoulders actually had the table, set up there. This isn't a pool hall. There's not normally pool being played in this room. He set up the bleachers, set up all the proper stuff, and made it happen. So, and speaking of which, I want to thank Dave Isaacs for making that stuff happen. SPL Billiards is his firm there. But that was how this came to be and everything. I mean, this is a lot of work from Havoc Productions, on site, just everything that they're doing. Chad's really, really dedicated himself to this, and he's doing great. I think we're waiting on our two players to join us back again. We'd love to have them join us back on the screen and just kind of give us a rundown of what went down today and what they're going to make as far as adjustments, if any. I'm sure Sky Woodward isn't really going to change too much. He just wants to keep doing what he's doing. But I'm curious what Roberto's going to be changing for tomorrow. What do you guys think we're going to hear from these guys?
Well, I think Sky's, like you said, is just going to try to keep the pressure on and keep winning. He's not breaking great, but he's breaking good, and he's playing exceptional. Roberto has struggled on the break. We've seen that. And he's also not quite as sharp as Sky in terms of pocketing balls and running out. So, obviously he's going to look to settle in tomorrow and play the type of pool that he's capable of playing. But, I think tomorrow might be interesting. I think seeing if Roberto can overcome this. With these last two matches, we see just how important the break is in 10 ball, right? I mean, it's everything. If you're not breaking the balls well in 10 ball, you're really not going to win. We saw that from Chris this weekend, and we're seeing that from Roberto so far in this match. What are your thoughts, Mark?
What I can't get my head round is that, the break is so important. And why is it so good for one player and not for the other? What is what is it? Is it a mental thing? Is it a confidence thing? Is it, they're watching each other break here so that they're picking up little things that the balls are doing. And I can't understand how two breaks can be so different.
Well, I know from this weekend watching Chris and Danny, there was definitely a timing issue with Chris. He wasn't coming through the ball the same way that Danny was and getting the pop on that head ball. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like he was jerking his body to try to manufacture additional power to compensate for that. Well, we know that the break isn't really about power. The break is about control. Mm-hmm. The break is about hitting that head ball exactly where you want to and really getting that pop. And that's what Danny was doing all weekend. Sky was doing it a lot better today than Roberto.
All All right. It looks like we are going to be joined by our players there. Mark, apologies for that button push there. So, I believe we do have Chad Shoulders there on site. He's going to be getting Sky in there first with us. Let's see here. Sky, do we have you?
Huh?
Skyler, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Wow, what a performance tonight, brother. I'm going to let Joey take over from here. I know he has a couple of questions he wanted to ask you.
Impressive showing tonight. Tell us, I guess you were just feeling super comfortable and confident out there, huh?
Yeah, I kept feeling better and better, and that's how it's going to go. The more I play, the better I'm going to feel. Just got to keep hitting balls. Keep hitting balls, and, give me a few more days, I'll be all right. But I ain't got a few more days for this match anyways. But, yeah, just, I felt really comfortable, especially at the second half of the match after playing pretty good and then taking a little break and coming back. And I ran the first three. I just felt like at home, and then I felt like real comfortable. So it's kind of easy to play after that. But just try to, stay in a little rhythm and keep playing the best I can play right now.
Yeah, well, you weren't consistently making the second balls in the side, but you were getting corner balls that were coming around and going in. Are you pretty much going to stick with the same break tomorrow, or are you going to try to tweak it a little bit?
Yeah, probably for the most part, I'll probably stick with the same break because it seems like that right side is where balls are going. Like Roberto wasn't making nothing from the left, and he moved to the right, and he started making sometimes, so definitely probably stick to the same break,
What do you expect to see out of Roberto tomorrow?
I expect his break to work better for sure. When you're down in a longer race like this, it takes a little pressure off of you when you're down. So I expect him to play better tomorrow for sure because being 11 games down, going into tomorrow to 50. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not a whole lot. So I think tomorrow he'll kind of be looser. He'll be able to kind of freewheel a little more where I've got to try to maintain the lead. So it's easier to come back from behind because you can probably look on social media right now. They're all like, he's too far down, can't come back. That's not how it is, So being down I like being down. Honestly, I can freewheel more than it's even more fun.
Mark, you got something for Sky?
Yeah, I just want to say you're looking very, very. You say that you haven't been playing that much on the big table. I thought you looked really at home tonight, and I know it wasn't I know it's an exhibition, but you're not sort of playing it like an exhibition. I think you're hitting the ball really, really lovely. And yeah, you were strong tonight. And I'm sure you're too young to know who Samson is. And Samson. He grew his hair really, really long, and he had all his strength. And as soon as they cut his hair, he lost all of his strength. So I strongly recommend never cut your hair again because it's good. You're playing really, really well.
Oh yeah, it's not going nowhere.
I love watching you, Skyler. You played really well tonight. Very entertaining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Sky. Great work today.
All right, thanks.
All right.
I'm good, Roberto.
Yeah, bring him in.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Okay, see you, bud.
All right, really nice to hear
Roberto.
from Skyler there. I'm looking forward to seeing what Roberto has to say about what he's going to make for the adjustments come tomorrow. I'm sure he's got some. He's probably, he's over there breaking right now. He's over there still working on the break. So I'm curious if that's really just going to be the long and the short of it. He's just going to say, hey, I need to practice the break. I need to get the break figured out.
Yeah. Why don't you start off with that question, Mike? We'll ask him that.
And that picture there says 1,000 words. This shows how seriously he's taking it because he's out there practicing the break. and that's how much he wants to improve.
Oh, yeah.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not taking this lightly, you know. And as I mentioned before, professional players, they always want to perform well. Roberto, how are you, sir?
Yes, good. I'm good. I'm good.
So, I mean, we discussed the break earlier, and you know the break wasn't really working for you. I mean, aside from making the break work, is there any other adjustments you're looking to make for tomorrow?
My what I'm thinking now, because I just changed the tip of my brake cue, and it's not popping that good. It's so hard. I need to hit hard. I need to brake hard just to pop to make the cue ball pop, and it don't pop that good. So I'm thinking like it's kind of, I don't know. I don't like the tip. I just, my first time to play when I changed my tip. So I think I'm gonna change the tip tomorrow.
So,
or tonight if some.
is it a fair question to to put out there? You know, what did you put on, and what are you going to switch it back to?
Oh, you mean the tip?
Yeah, is that okay to mention?
Oh, I
or-
don't care. It's like a white diamond tip. And it's not popping that good, so I'm gonna, if there's somebody like a cue maker here has a different tip, I'm gonna change it right away. Yeah. I never know. I don't know what kind of tip I put on. Somebody just gave it to me, and the original one, the original tip is already, it's already almost done. So I changed the new one, and this is my first time to play that with that tip, and the cue ball don't pop.
Gotcha.
And Skylar plays really perfect. Yeah, his break is working, and he runs the ball really well.
So, aside from swapping the brake tip and getting that brake to work out, what do you think you need to do? Is there
Work
any?
out on my break.
That's it.
Work out on my break.
That's
Yeah,
it. There's nothing else.
It's not like I don't know. He just break really good and popping the ball and making the wing ball. And I don't know, mine is like different. It's really different. I mess up with my break. I'm trying to hit it hard now because it don't pop. If I hit it soft, it don't pop. And I don't know, I'm just trying to hit it hard and trying to hoping that make another ball in another pocket instead of side pocket. So, and it makes him play more comfortable because he knows he got me on the break. I'm struggling on the break. Yeah, that's how it is.
So do you think that
he's playing really good?
So Roberto, if this match was a mandatory push out after the break, do you think the score would reflect a lot closer?
That's really good. I love that. A mandatory push out after the break, then that's kind of I like that game.
So would you think that the
Yeah.
score would be a lot closer or even more in your favor if it was a mandatory push out type of format?
No, I cannot say it's in my favor, but it's a lot closer. Yeah. Sky plays really
Yeah,
good.
of course.
Sky's a great player. He has everything. He has the heart. He has experience too. Yeah, but his break is working so good that makes him play more comfortable. And I'm the one who's struggling. I'm behind. I need to catch up.
Yeah, we even made the reference where it seemed as though you were getting the average in normal things that we'd see from a 10-ball break, where it's difficult to consistently pocket a ball and you get the odd bumps here and there. Whereas when Sky's breaking, it almost seems like he's breaking 9-ball, where it's not a consistent ball that he's pocketing, but he's making the ball and getting a shot.
Yeah. It's working. It's like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of luck in the break, and mine is like hitting other ball and scratch, and you got to scratch straight to the side pocket. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I really don't know what's my break. I cannot figure out the breaks.
So, all right. I think Joey Ryan has a couple of questions for you, Roberto. So I'm going to pass it over to Joey.
Okay.
Hi, Roberto. Just one question. How did you feel your play was after the break? Did you feel comfortable out there?
Not really that comfortable. First thing is like I just came back from Philippines, so this is my second my third week here, and I'm just starting all over again. Like my hit, my game. I'm just starting all over again. It's like I don't feel that much comfortable like I played the last time when I still didn't go back to Philippines, but yeah, that's how it is, and it's the role is not with me, and yeah, not that really that that in a zone when I play, like I can see everything. Now I'm still trying to feel the rail, feel everything. Yeah, it's just I need to recharge again, something like that.
I think Mark White has a question for you, Roberto.
Yes, sir.
Mark, I think you're on mute.
I was actually going to ask the same. What?
There you go.
Now, can you hear me?
Good. You're good.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to ask the same question as you asked. How did you feel when you were in the balls? But now that you've answered that, I'd like to ask you, Roberto. I think you should go and have some pork adobo. It will make you feel a lot better and come back stronger for tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to you getting the break right tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll try to figure it out. The break. All right, and my game too.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Roberto. Good
All
luck.
right, thank you guys. Thank you. Not yet over. Still have tomorrow. If he did that today, I can do that tomorrow too. We don't know.
That's what we said. That's what we said. That's funny.
All right, fantastic hearing from him, and I'll tell you, a lot of folks in the chat are going to say it too. Mr. Gomez is definitely going to gain a lot of fans, especially for them being able to see him and connect to him and see that personality that he's got. You know, just a great example. Great example.
All right, thank you.
He's still there.
He's still there. All right, Roberto, go get that break figured out.
Yep, I'm gonna figure it out now.
Fantastic.
Hey, get out of my table!
He's yelling at Sky to get off his table.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
All right,
Wow.
thank you very much.
Mike, what a guy. What a guy. How are you? If you're not a Roberto Gomez fan, you have to be now.
Oh, man. Absolutely. And I think that we're actually going to be joined by another guest here in just a second. And that's going to be the Havoc Production CEO, Mr. Chad Shoulders. And we're going to get him so that we can hear him in just a second. But we've got him right here, Mr. Chad Shoulders. There's that lovely human being right there making these things possible. And we are going to get some audio from him in just a second.
He's got to find the mute button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we doing now? How we do?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. Glad to hear from you, Chad. How's it going over there? What's going on? Can you explain the action in the room right now?
Oh, it's going good. I think people were just blown away by Skylar tonight. He just absolutely steamrolled it. And, his break was working perfect, and he was just running out, and it was just so remarkable how quickly that match got to 25. And we all know they both play fast.
Yeah.
And especially when they're in stroke. But Skylar was just, he was just straight up lights out. He's just about perfect. I mean, I didn't see every shot tonight. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But it seemed like he was at the table, just punishing Roberto when he couldn't get out, and punishing Roberto every time Roberto made a mistake on the break.
Yeah, that's definitely been the story on our side over here. But again, great choice in choosing a guy like Roberto Gomez to come onto the team. Just the way that he carries himself. It's just really nice to see that from a professional pool player.
Oh yeah, I mean he number one, he always plays hard. Number two, he always tries to win. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He and I he played me left-handed, the other night at one of the local pool rooms, and it was just absolutely hell bent on beating me. And we weren't even playing for anything. So I mean, like, he's just a fierce competitor, he's a great entertainer. He enjoys the crowd. He likes engaging with them. One of the reasons I keep holding this right here is because he's laughing so loud with the people behind the screen here. He's wonderful for the sport. And it's really refreshing to see. And it's one thing to see it on the stream, to see him do something funny or whatever. But in person, it's just a whole new stratosphere. And I'm thrilled to have him. And it's great being here with Billy and Sky. They're hamming it up with the crowd. They're doing what they do, And it's a good night for pool out here in South Dakota.
Fantastic. I think Joey had a question for you, Chad.
I wanted to just know, Chad, how are the fans? They treated like, did the fans really enjoy themselves tonight?
I'm sorry, I could barely hear you. Roberto's laughing again.
Did the fans out there really enjoy themselves?
Oh, absolutely. I had so many people walk up to me tonight and, and say, thank you for bringing this to South Dakota. I had several people that were able to get autographs and say, this is like the opportunity of a lifetime. And Roberto's never been up here before. Billy's been up here, and Sky, I don't think, spent much time in this area. And so, just to bring some different talent. I mean, we all know that there's some pretty incredible, best of all time talent from this area. And, but to see somebody new, a new face and everything, I think it's good for the game, and it's being proven to me tonight that's true. The proof of concept is there because people are walking up and telling me so.
So is your guy going to get back into this tomorrow?
He better. He's fired. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's what are you gonna do? I mean, it doesn't matter who was on the other side of that. Skylar was just about perfect, but at the same time, Roberto had, if he had some of those breaks back, he might have been able to keep Skylar from putting packages on him. Tomorrow's a new day. I think I heard Roberto jokingly say, if he could do it today, I could do it tomorrow. But that's no joke. That's the truth. So if he can work out the break and Skylar can maybe just, maybe take a breather and slow down just a touch, he's got a chance to get back in this.
Mark White, you got anything for Chad?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, Chad, that I think Roberto Gomez is such a perfect fit for your company, for what you're trying to do with Paul. He just fits that bill so well. He plays with a smile, he's jokey, he's forthcoming with info about his tip. His tip is rubbish, he wants to change his tip. I don't know, guys, I'm going to try again tomorrow, I'm not big. Just a great fit for what Havoc are doing. And once again, great production, terrific night for Paul. And all the stuff that's been going on recently, I think what you're doing and what this show tonight was, Paul is great entertainment, and it's a game played by great people. And I can't wait for tomorrow night. Absolutely fantastic entertainment, and it's free.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's I love bringing it to the public, and I couldn't agree with you more about Roberto. He's but the story of the night tonight clearly was Sky. I mean, nobody could argue it. As much as I'd love to, because he's not wearing my shirt. He was straight up. The star of the show tonight, and I think deservedly so. It's kind of funny. I think he told you earlier in the before in the pregame, pre-match interview. I think he said, I haven't played on 9-foot tables, much, lately or recently. Well, I know Roberto's been playing on them, and Sky just, I don't know what got over him, or got into him, but he just murdered it. And it was, I don't know what it was like necessarily to see. I couldn't really see the stream other than to check in on a couple things, but sitting here live, man, it was just fireworks. They were just just firing balls in from everywhere, getting out from everywhere. Roberto threw a behind the back cut shot in there and got, like and the stuff was going in. It's not like they were trying flyers. They were just running out. It was awesome.
And he's still doing it as you speak now. He's on the table now, running out again, bringing out all the great shots. What a talent Skylar Woodward is as well. Wow.
Oh, they're both ridiculously talented, and it's a really even match. 9-foot rotation between those two. If you asked me before this match started, what I would probably tell you is that Roberto has an edge in 10 ball. And that Skylar might have an edge in 9 ball, but they're very equal players. It's whoever has the break going is probably good. And the speed control. That was the other thing I didn't mention that. Skylar's speed was just absolutely spot on. And and if the break's working and your speed's right, the only way you can lose is if you're breaking balls. And Skylar's never going to do that.
Roberto said that he can make a break tip. So you got to get out there today or tomorrow and hook him up with a cue mechanic to get a new brake tip on there. We're close match.
Okay. Is the carpenter blaming his tools? What's going on there?
No, he's not getting that pop out of it, so he wants to change the
right.
Well, I can't blame him.
What's that now?
I can't blame him. He wants to change up on the break.
Yeah, if he's got something goofy going on there, he probably ought to take care of it, and we'll see if we can find someone in town to put something on there that's be a little bit better. Who knows? Those guys are so excuse me, those guys are so in tune with their game. The cue is almost part of their body when they're holding it. They notice every tiny little nuance that players like us might not necessarily notice. And so it could be just maybe it's a piece of Johnny Archer's lint that's stuck to the top of that tip that's causing the whole problem. Who knows?
I hope Johnny's not listening.
I hope he is. I hope he is. I hope he is listening.
So, no, great job tonight, guys. It felt successful on this end. I hope it was successful on that end, and I hope people really enjoyed it tonight.
Yeah, plenty of chat tonight. Over 1,200 viewers tonight, most of the time. All enjoying it, all loving the stream. They're loving the production. They're loving everything about it. Terrific night for Paul.
It's all because of you, Mark. They love you.
They love us.
Yeah, I think it's a collective effort here. Just everything all together is just making it a beautiful thing.
It's a good team.
All right, so Chad, I know you got lots going on over there. One quick question though, what time are we starting tomorrow? The viewers are asking, and I feel like they should hear it from you.
Okay, 7 p.m. Central Time.
7 p.m. Central, same bat time, same bat channel, all that stuff.
That's it.
All right, fantastic. All right, anything you want to say before we head out, Chad?
No, I appreciate all the hard work everyone's put into the production. Joey, Mike, and Mark, you guys are great. Ken with the cameras. We got, we had a nice stream tonight. And to the fans that were watching this, I hope you enjoyed it. And I really appreciate the support. So, if we can bring more to this, the more support we get, the more we can bring it. And, I'm trying to line them up as quickly as we knock them down. And, and thanks for watching.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shoulders. Look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. All right, Joey, Mark, what are you guys thinking? Is it going to be another Sky Woodward show tomorrow, or is it going to be the Gomez show?
Well, I tell you what, I can't wait for tomorrow. I actually wish it was right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, tomorrow's too long to wait. It's still early. Let's just play it out tonight. That's the way I feel. I'm just so excited about it. And the way Sky played tonight, wow. I mean, if you're Sky Woodward, you're probably wanting to play it out tonight too, because you're playing great.
Yeah.
So, but tomorrow's a new day, and you never know. They could come in the door, and Roberto could be on fire, and Sky could be struggling a little bit. Maybe if Roberto gets that new break tip, everything changes. But he's got a huge gap to make up. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Mark, what are you thinking about this?
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the chat was saying they wish that it was going to have finished tonight. I know Skylar would for sure. Not sure Roberto would want that. Let's hope that he can find a cue doctor somewhere to get that new tip on, because, even if it isn't an issue, it's in his head now, so it is an issue, whether it's the tip or not. Get him to change the tip and then come back, and then let's see what happens. But honestly, yeah, I hope I'm invited again tomorrow because I want to be here. I won't want to be anywhere else. Well, if I'm not here, I will be watching it here. So,
Mark, I'm sure the invitation's going to be open for sure. I'm definitely going to make that happen.
I want you back.
Cannot wait for tomorrow. Honestly, I've never looked forward. I mean, I thought last weekend was exciting. It's just getting more and more and more exciting. This is, Chad Shoulders is wreaking havoc in my life. It's depriving me of sleep.
I love the way you put that.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow, Mike, and great job tonight. I think a lot of the people on the stream had great things to say about it, and you put a lot of work into this again. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
All right, so we are going to cut ourselves off now. We are going to leave it at that. We are at 14-25 in favor of Skylar Woodward. And again, tomorrow, just tune in right here, Havoc Productions, right here on Facebook. Make sure that you like and follow so you get all of those notifications when we do go live. And again, we're going to kick this off again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time zone there for all you guys watching. But again, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to conclude this matchup. But until then, we love you guys. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.